help with the cars? You want me to tell Chris Port to get...
Carry on, dark zone. Red. 4. Ding 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 bing 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 bingกันมาปั๊มTake that. Carry on, dark zone. Red. 4. Ding 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 bing 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 bingกันมาปั๊มTake that. Carry on, dark zone. Red. 4. Ding 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 bing 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 bingกันมาปั๊ม
Welcome to the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship live coverage of the final stage of the Central Machine Hire Otago Rally for 2025. Thanks for joining us. This is the iconic Curry Bush stage. Dale Budge joined with former NZRC competitor Dylan Turner. I said former, but we expect to see you back at some point this year. Dill, you've driven this iconic road numerous times. What makes it so special, and what is it that we're going to see over the next hour and a half or so as these competitors tackle one of the most famous stages in world rallying?
Welcome everybody. Thanks for that lovely introduction. Yeah, definitely not former. I'll be back, don't you worry. Look, I mean, what can I say about this stage? Well, I think what'll give the best information for this stage is you've just done a whole day of rallying. You are hot, you are tired, you've been risking your life all day, and you've done hundreds of Ks, dust everywhere, you're tired. You get out the end of this stage and you want to do it again. And there is no other rally in the world that I've been to where you do want to do a stage again. So, look, absolutely fantastic stage. That's the Zero car that we've got coming through the stage. Oh, gosh, look at it. And there's a Zero car. We've got some great camera points for you. I'm really excited for this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to what is going to be an epic battle, man. There is absolutely nothing in this heading into the final stage. If you're just joining us, situation, I'll give you an update in the standings as we head to final stage of the rally. Of course, the leading group are in the previous stage. We'll give you some times as soon as they come to hand. So with 2 stages to go, Robbie Stokes leads the rally by 7.4 seconds from Ben Hunt. Josh Marston holding down third place. He is a further minute 42 off the pace. Jack Hawkswood, last year's winner, only 4.5 seconds between Marston and Hawkswood now. That is a battle to keep an eye on. And then Emma Gilmore, a minute 7 back in 5th place. Big news this afternoon, unfortunately, Jack Stokes going out, got a stick through the radiator. He was leading the rally, a real battle, a 3-way battle. There was only less than 10 seconds between the top 3, and for the second year running deal, we're going to have an epic finish here at Curry Bush. Yeah, I mean, what a fantastic finish it's coming down to. And look, it's so sad. I feel so bad for the Stokes family. Obviously, they've got one son still in it, though, which is still pretty damn good. So it's going to be all on for young and old in that last stage. Benny knows that stage well. I mean, Robbie's a good peddler on it too, but I'd want a little bit of a lead if I was Robbie coming out of that second last stage going into Curry Bush, because Ben, he's great in this stage. You know, he was fantastic here last year. Produced one of the epic performances to, I think, smash the stage record at the time that Paddon had set previously, and just showcasing how much the rest of the field is drawing closer to what Hayden's doing.
And I think it was only 4 seconds off Benny's time. Someone maybe correct me if that's wrong, but I mean, that's pretty magical. You know, Hayden, WRC star. Benny still turns up to work on Monday, so also I know Hayden works as well, but that's pretty magical. Really looking forward to it. Real shame Jack can hold his head proud, hold his head high. He did a terrific job in a brand new car for him. I think they might have done a couple of days testing, maybe and one small rally sprint, but good on him, come out and really 10 seconds in the first stage. We all were just left with our mouths wide open. So, gosh, it's going to be exciting. And what a huge turnout. The Otago rally has drawn a huge turnout for this Curry Bush. There are spectators left, right and centre. I had to go and push about 50 Australians out of the way for our camera crew. They were telling me that they knew the owner of the road, and I was like, I don't think so. Get out of the way. But great to see so many international people here.
Oh, massive hordes of spectators, and there are numerous vantage points across the stage. We're about halfway through, 15-kilometre long test, but it takes the drivers, a little over 5 minutes, because you're just about flat the whole way. And look at all the hordes of people out there. We can look across to the next junction. You can see cars for Africa back towards the main road. Yeah, it's very, very cool to see. We saw it last year. Jack Hawkswood looking for a breakthrough debut win in the NZRC. We've got a very similar situation with Robbie with that narrow lead. Enough 7 seconds is a lot to pull, but as we've said, Ben has all the experience. He's certainly got a good track record here. If you're Robbie Stokes, the nerves will be high. What do you think will be going through his head right at the moment?
Well, I tell you what, I spoke to Robbie at the service, and if you think he's nervous, he doesn't show it. Like, that guy's as cool as a cucumber. I only sort of waved to Benny through the windscreen. He looked like job's on. He just looked like he knew he had a job to do. Eyes forward and full concentration. I don't think there'll be too much nerves in those cars, and you're in full mode attack. You really are. You get onto that line And as the countdown goes down, trust me, your last breath is a really deep one. Because the very, very first corner is a corner that Hayden takes flat. And I can't take it flat. I lift every time. But you just know, okay, I've lost a quarter of a second there already to Hayden. So you've really got to lift your game. And I think those boys are obviously taking it flat. So good on them. It's going to be tremendously exciting. Of course, the other thing to look forward to, Chris Meek and Hayden Paddon, hopefully we can see a stage done by the pair of them. I know we've got a couple, which is great. And I think it's been a bit lopsided between both of them, but can't wait to see them both on this stage. And then, of course, Hayden's going to pop down to Brighton, jump into his WRC car, and we're going to see that come through.
Oh, so that is just going to be magic. This is the car, of course, that he won Rally Argentina, the only person in the history of WRC from the Southern Hemisphere to win a WRC event. So, yeah, and he fended off the challenge from Sebastian Ogier that day, and we get to see that car in the flesh on one of our most iconic stages. The first cars are in the stage. Tim Smith in the Subaru Impreza H6. We'll see him. Then Josh Keeley. We've got Simon Bell at the start line, grabbing some shots for the post-production show. I'm pretty sure Hedgie's at the end of the stage, grabbing some comments. That is a cool place to be. I've been at the end of the stage a few times, and every driver has a story to tell. The emotions are running high. You're either on an absolute buzz because you've just experienced probably the best thrill you can have on four wheels, or you've had a massive moment, the heart's going a million miles an hour, there's sweat pouring off you. It's everything that you could hope for at an end-of-stage interview.
It's really like a roller coaster, this stage. So the corner we're looking at the top there is Tank Corner. So you've just come along a ridge line, and you're doing between 140 to 160 to 170. Get airborne a couple of times along that straight piece of road, and then basically you're into 90 right, so you're slamming on the brakes, probably only about maybe 60, 70 metres out. Hard on the brakes, down through the gears, probably second gear for most of the boys. Maybe some of them might take it in third, some of the other cars. And then you pretty much, you turn right and you're off for the next roller coaster.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Better give a quick shout out to our principal partners. So Brian Green Property Group, obviously naming right partner of the championship. MRF, the Control Tyre, Amiga Rental Cars who get us around the place, and Cream Insurance. You can see them on screen there. Massive thanks to those guys for allowing us to do what we do, and looking forward to doing it across the season. A massive 6-round championship starting here in the Deep South. We'll have a couple more rounds in the South Island before we move to the North Island in the second half of the year and finish at Whangarei in a few months' time. That is going to be a cool championship, and if this weekend is anything to go by, we have got a massive battle to come. So here we go, first car on the road. It is Tim Smith. He's done a good job to me this weekend in the H6 Subaru.
Yeah, looking great, looking fast, looking tidy, and I mean, last stage for him, hopefully he can get a good stage here. That little stage as we saw them come in, that's a pretty cool little jump. You can ask what Tony about that from Stadium Finance about that little jump. I think he got it a bit wrong. You see what I mean along the ridge line? Great drone shots. What's our Bailey's drone, I'm going to call it, because no one's putting their hand up. So Bailey's drone's doing a great job. Coming up now, and then they do another little right-hander, and then it's into Tank. Look at that speed. You can't really tell, but those sheep are scared.
That is about as fast as that car can go. Absolutely wringing the neck out of it is Timmy.
It goes out of view, and he'll come into Tank Corner, and we'll see. There's the Tank, famously called Tank Corner, because of the tank, obviously.
So about to see them come into shot. Tank there to the right.
Here he is. So over the little crest after Tank Corner. Car coming, of course, and now he comes up to Joe McAndrew's corner. Joe's corner, famously made famous from Joe, who had a crash there. It's this corner here. It's a scary corner. Oh, beautiful. Of course, had a couple of other competitors have crashes there. I'll talk about that in a second. Now this little crest here is flat too for the Braves. Oh, not bad. Look at that.
Past our commentary position, and
he just zipped past us. That is cool. Dust trail. Drone can't even keep up with him.
Here's the landscape. You've got the State Highway 1 down to the left at the bottom of the hill, and you've got the beach to the right, the Pacific Ocean, looking out next stop, Chile.
Yeah.
Pretty cool piece of scenery, this.
That little bit that he went, the little jig left and a little jig right's quite scary too, and he's just dropping over one of the tricky right-handers there. Now he's probably, I think this is about halfway in the stage, and every corner you go past, you you kind of know the corners, so you get a bit nervous as you're coming through them, but you're glad that you finished that one. Dust hanging a little bit, but I don't think it'll be too much of a problem for the following competitors.
All right, just waiting for the top competitors to make their way out of Special Stage 14, the previous one. We'll give you some times as soon as they come to hand. Here is Josh Keeley, another one to have a really impressive run this weekend.
Yeah, Josh is doing great. Can he get through Joe's? Nicely through Joe's, nice and tight. Why that corner's so tricky is if you cut it too early, it'll sort you out and you'll be on the left-hand side of the road there in a drain, and there's no coming back from it. Nicely over the crest. Get him coming down. That's so cool. And then they drop into this right-hander that's got so much camber, it's almost like a NASCAR road, I tell you. And then she's almost flat out down there till that next right-hander. You've got a couple of little cuts and weaves back, basically. Dust definitely is hanging a little bit in the forestry parts.
Right, next up we should see the Australian-based Irishman, Glenn Alcorn. Jonathan Charleston sitting alongside another of the H6 Imprezas. Quite the little battle between some very similar pieces of machinery.
Yep,
there is Glenn.
Oof, that was pretty good. Nice around Joe's corner. So you definitely see this dust is going to hang a little bit. So let's hope the wind gets up a little bit. Oh, nicely. Gee, he got off the gas for a long time there. I think he might have been at a little moment over that, Chris. So you can see our drone shot's a little bit tricky to see. There's a great view of the car there, and it just shows how fast the road is. Just coming to that little nip left and little nip right. Once again, it's covered in dust. Come on, wind. We need just a little bit of the Wellington breeze, please. See the spectators there, both left and right hand side of Joe's corner. Another person that actually had a small accident on there is one of our own NZRC helpers, of course, Darren Galbraith. What a shame.
He didn't want to come join us here.
No, he didn't. He still has
nightmares
about that. Didn't cost him too much, he told me, but would have cost a lot of price.
Kevin led with it all hanging out. Oh,
holy
just holds
heck,
on to it.
I have my heart in my mouth there. That was beautiful driving, though. He got away with it.
He's another that had a really good weekend.
He was flat over the crest too, and drops it into our right-hander by our MRF tyres. That was awesome. Joe's corner definitely sorts the men from the boys, is what I always say. And good on him. Buy that boy a beer.
Yep, men from the boys. We've got a lady coming up next, Deb Kibble.
Oh, Deb. Yep, Deb.
Heather Barton sitting alongside.
Deb looked all business. I saw her at the end of, I think it was stage 11 or 12. And yes, she looked all business, head down. Cool looking car. Sounds great as well. So we can't see Tank Corner anymore. It's just too covered in dust.
Lots of dust. Well, he was out in the loose stuff, wasn't he, Kevin?
Yeah, definitely. Joe's is the better one anyway to look at.
So Deb should be through. There she is.
Nice and tidy. Debs knows that corner well. She knows it's one of those corners you probably don't want to push too hard on.
Another of the Magnum H6 Imprezas.
Oh, she's flat over there. Kept a little bit wide. There is a heck of a drain on that right-hand side as well. So well done, Deborah Kibble. It is a flat crest, but it's a flat crest. Keep left.
So next car we should see will be Sean Wade, Hayley Wade, the Mitsubishi Mirage. Boy, it's just dust everywhere.
Yeah,
hot,
enough,
dry conditions.
It is. Wearing our T-shirts in Dunedin. Who'd have thought that?
Need the aircon in the van. The Volt TV crew doing a great job, but man, she is warm.
We don't have that in the budget. No one sponsored our drone.
I need the togs. Go for a swim at St Kilda when we're done.
Nice and
not Wade.
That's nice and cautiously over that corner, and that's probably the way to do it safely. Coming up to Joe's now.
It's Amy Keeley, I'm pretty sure.
And we've come back to the drone. Beautiful shot of Joe's.
Look at the people.
Yeah, look at the people. Here we go. Back to the camera.
So I reckon we might have lost a car in here.
I think so.
Reliably informed from Simon, who's at the start, that the Wade should be in the stage, so not sure what's going on there. We'll try and keep you up to date. Might be them next, actually. So it's Amy, and then I think the Wade's next, so... Should be the Yellow Mirage.
Cool little car, the Yellow Mirage. So we can still just see Tank Corner in the distance. Excellent.
So still waiting for the top competitors to make their way out of... This is the title contenders here. Their way of the Tyree Beach stage.
So we can see the Mirage coming up to Joe's corner. Nicely into Joe's. Oh, nice, yep. That's kind of perfect. That's as good as you can get it, I reckon, without starting to bring a bit of risk in. And flat over the crest. Yeah, nicely done. A little lift for this one, and then straight back up it. I've actually had a pretty good moment on that corner many years ago because we got a bit of air coming over that crest, and I was kind of so busy high-fiving myself going, well, that was cool. And then Malcolm's reminding me, I think it's like a 4, and which is quite a tight corner, and it's a beautiful camber to start with, but it's flat camber on the exit. And, yeah, a little bit of a moment, a little bit of heart and mouth. So the big jump was forgotten pretty quickly.
So Tom Milliken should be the next car we see. No, it's getting harder and harder to actually see the cars. Another of the H6 Subarus. So if you're just joining us, the Group A Challenge first up. Here is Tom. Then we get into the historic class in reverse order, slowest to fastest. Building up to, of course, Hayden Paddon and Chris Meek. Looking forward to that. And then it's the Cat 1 battle. And that'll decide who wins the rally for 2025. It's nice and tidy this morning. We saw him on the live stream in the first stage. Unfortunately, that one got cancelled shortly after.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shame. It was such a great spot. And beautifully dipped in. Not that we can see in that dust. Great shot of the MRF tyres banner, though.
Yep, and again, another rally where the MRF control tyre has performed admirably.
Yeah, it's been pretty dry and dusty, and you know, if it was going to struggle with the temperatures, especially running a soft, you know, the boys and girls are running a soft compound or super soft, held up beautifully. We had a good check of the tyres at the end of one of the stages, and it was a long stage, and they were good. A little bit of, you know, off the edges, but not too bad at all.
This is Nigel King.
And the Evo 2. Or the Evo 3 wing.
Yeah, there's a bit of both, I think, in there.
Yeah. Bit of a lift. And dip it in. Nicely done.
Is this dust going to seriously impact the drivers here with vision?
Yeah, it's going to hang.
You can see it there in that drone shot.
It's probably not. It will hang where the trees are.
Yeah.
Where it's clear. And I mean, it's pretty clear from the junctions onwards up there. So this is probably going to be the worst it is where we are. There might be a bit at the beginning. Hopefully, if it does become an issue, they may look at giving 2-minute gaps to the top runners, just purely for safety, obviously. Nothing worse than getting dusted as... Oh, here we go with
Steve Cox.
The Quattro. This thing's anti-lag gave me a heart attack before. So loud.
So just one more Group A car after Steve.
Over that crest. Sounds great. Let's listen to the lag.
Hear it popping away.
Yeah, had a couple of lifts, but that was seriously cool, that noise. Well, it's good to see that car, you know, I mean, we're nearly at the end, and I know it had a few teething issues last year, but it's good to see it starting to come out the other side, and I know Hayden Paddon's team run it and do all the work on it, so it's good to see it getting very nice and reliable.
So Terry Taylor will be the last car in the Group A Challenge, another of the Subaru H6s. She's done a good job this weekend.
You can see in the open the dust is clearing quite nicely, but yeah, definitely in the trees there it will hang. Almost need a water truck.
Yeah. Boy, it is warm. I'm not understating just how it's like the middle of summer here, is Terry?
Oh, beautifully around Joe's. Up to our crest. And he's nice and flat over that as well. Oh yeah, it's good speed. Good anti-lag. And he's off.
So Terry has done a good job. Another of our female competitors. And there should be a little bit of a pause there as we move to the historic class.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a big gap, I think, haven't we?
So we have lost a few of our Group A competitors across the weekends. Didn't have Nathan Fraser, he was going earlier today. Louis King from the Philippines. Nigel Eade, I think he went out yesterday.
What happened to our Philippines gentleman?
Not sure actually. No, just not a starter in the final stage.
Hopefully he didn't put it off the road again.
Boy, he had a big moment yesterday, didn't he?
Oh, a huge moment. Well, not a moment, he had an event.
Yeah, it was,
he had
an actual event.
Yeah. And you look at the photos that Jeff Ritter's posted, and holy smoke, he was so lucky just to scratch an indicator, because that's legitimately all he did.
He got away with it, that is absolutely
he got away
for
with
sure.
it big time.
So we're going to have a 4-minute gap now to Gilly Fisher.
Did we get our times of the cars coming out of that stage?
We'll go back and if you want to have a quick squiz at that.
I can check them.
We're told that Joe McAndrew's actually at Joe's corner, spectating. So if you're listening or someone's on the live stream there, just smoking Joe.
I didn't even see him. I think we're going to go to a short ad break, and we'll be back after that with some results.
Let's be honest. You want to rent a car from someone who'll see you.
Sorry, I keep on forgetting what it's.
Reasons to put Omega Rental Cars top of your list. Do we have a modern fleet, all fully checked and ready to roll?
Yes, we do.
Do we offer keen prices, unlimited Ks, and free additional drivers?
Yes, you do.
And do we support New Zealand motorsport because we love cars? And maybe to look a bit flash.
Yes, you do.
There you go. Omega Rental Cars, your upfront and honest car rental company. Let's be honest. You want to rent a...
If I take you down, would you really hold me down and be your best friend? She just wanna hit me with a quickie by the bone, and I'm like, yes, ma'am. Well, you got me feeling for your body, you might turn me to a yes, man. Oh, yeah. 80 and a 40 on my nerve, bitch, I'm flyer than your ex, man. We ain't gotta go outside.
So they're thinking that Hayden.
Champagne with the roof gone. Bought this jam back in Tucson. Think I got to get a move on. Never had much to lose, but you could do better with me in the middle of the road, the back of the Jeep. So baby, let's not talk about it. But I gotta know, if I take you down, would you really hold me down and be your best friend? She just wanna hit me with a quickie by the bone, and I'm like, yes, man. Well, you got me feeling for your body, you might turn me to a yes, man. Oh, yeah. 80 and a 40 on my nerve, bitch, I'm flyer than your ex, man. Why you act so extra? Let me in your section. Running through my mind, we got a connection. Back home ain't the same, your pop's drinking all the time. You just wanna get away, come hop up in my ride. Two goofies on the run, couple 40s in the backseat. Spirits in my lungs, yeah, my voice a little raspy. Turn me to a yes, man. Before we do this, girl, I got a question. If I take you down, would you really hold me down and be your best friend?
So some of the highlights. Awesome piece of road. Great opportunity for some of these competitors to showcase themselves in big crowds. Josh Keeley.
Such a beautiful looking car. I went up and had a close look at it. It's beautifully built, nice colour scheme. He was balls out over that jump. Honestly. Oh, so was that one.
Thanks to Chris Sport being told that our friend Louis King. Look at that. Kevin
That's as
Laird.
wide as you want to get, Kevin, without flipping owning.
Jack Hawkswood with the rally on the line last year was out in the weeds there as well, and he managed to just put it together. And
did hear that. That's
that was
another moment. Was that Deborah Kibble?
I think it was.
Jeepers creepers.
So Louis King, our Filipino friend, he is going to start. I'm told he's just a little bit out of order. Here's Gilly. So we are back live now. These are live pictures.
Jilly coming down the road, so her first time, is it, doing Kirribush?
She's been doing rallying for quite a while. I'm pretty sure she would have done it at some point. Usually we see her more in the South Island.
Joe's corner, nice and cautiously, but look, I mean, fantastic to see her out there rallying.
Yeah, and look, she's this is the start of the historic class, so working from slowest
to
fastest.
fastest. Yeah, exactly.
Little starlet.
Just goes to show anyone can do rallying as long as you've got a driver's license. You know, join those local car clubs wherever a car club is around you. Feel free to join them, and and then you might find someone that's got a car that maybe doesn't want to drive it, and maybe you might get some sort of deal out of it for cheaper. That's your first port of call. South Auckland Car Club, of course, is the one I belong to up there in South Auckland, where I live, strangely enough. Actually, I live in Pookie.
Fancy letting someone else drive the Audi?
Well, I've done that with Shane, obviously.
Oh, he goes right. I was thinking myself, actually.
Yeah,
I'd love to do one.
Not so keen, mate, but that's fine. If you've got a big check, it's yours.
Yeah, it's a very expensive mistake, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, no, Shane was a bit of a different circumstance.
Oh, how awesome to have a guy of that stature in our championship last year. And we know that he'd love to be able to be here and do more of it,
He 100% wants to be here. He's mentioned that many times to me, but obviously NASCAR is where he's at the moment, and they don't really give you a lot of time off.
So Mike Cameron and Helen Cameron should be the next car we see in the little Mitsubishi Lancer. They've had a really, really good event.
Haven't they? And
we've seen them
pushing
pace.
it. Pushing it. Normally Mike, I wouldn't say drives down the road because he's still going fast, but I saw a couple of photos of him well sideways.
Driving blind.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't do a recce, and that really does improve your pace.
They should be here. And I know there's a little bit more of a gap in between Jilly and Mike just to assist. I think Mike's made a couple of passes over the earlier stages today. And
we're about 6 or 7 Ks in, so we're roughly halfway, I think. So they've probably made up 4 minutes.
Try and check those times from Tyree Beach. Previous stage, still no sign just yet of the top competitors getting down to the last few of the historics in the previous stage. Of course, they go straight from there to the start of this one.
So Kirribush, just if you've ever wanted to know where it is just kind of above the airport. We're not too far from Dunedin Airport, towards the coast. So when you're flying in, sometimes you can actually get a view of the roads. It's a beautiful, just an incredible stage. Like I say, all the international drivers just rave about our Kirribush.
Yeah, we've had some pretty big names in the sport competing down here in recent times. Mikko Hirvonen, Mads Osberg's been here. We've seen the likes of Ari Vartan and some of the all-time greats of the sport absolutely raving. This is about as close as it gets to Finland, isn't it, in terms of really road style?
Well, I've never been to Finland, but Hayden does tell us that it's very, very similar to the Finnish style of roads. Obviously, I think they're like it, the jumpy part of Kirribush, all the way. But apparently they do have some stages that are just quite forestry as well.
So just looking out there over the horizon, you can see the sea in the background, the ocean, that is the Pacific Ocean you can see.
Next stop, Argentina?
Chile.
Yeah,
next stop, Chile.
There you go. Long way.
It's a fair hike over there, though, to be fair.
It's a long swim, mate.
Yeah, I don't fancy that. I wouldn't want a little dip in the ocean, though.
Well,
because the stage finishes just down right next to the ocean, in fact.
It does. Have you been down there, though? It's pretty rough.
Oh, yeah. I've been a couple other rallies where I finished here and thought, I wouldn't mind whacking the togs in the backpack and have a little swim at the end of it.
You want to be careful of sharks, mate.
Oh, yeah. Brighton Beach is where they head along the waterfront to Brighton Beach for the official
You wouldn't
finish.
be the fastest of swimmers, I'm picking.
No, not at all.
Here's the Camerons. Coming up on Joe's. Just go blind out of shot for a little bit, and then they're going to dip in nicely. It's not bad. Well done. Straight up over the crest and the little Evo.
Been regulars in the championship for a few years now.
Great people.
Yeah, awesome people. First to put up their hand to volunteer to do something to help the sport.
Yep, hand out lollies, to all the officials. Like I say, sadly enough, we're a bit too far away from the action. We don't get a lot of lollies, but they hand out the lollies to the officials. Real great people.
So I believe Pat Norris is next. Pat making the change. He's in the Toyota Corolla A86. Change from the Vitz in the off-season.
Yeah, I think that's a good change. I mean, that car's going to have a lot more speed. And as you can see him coming down the dip now, he did go pretty well in that Vitz. And coming up on Joe McAndrew's corner. So Joe McAndrew's actually spectating. Hello, Joe, if you're out there. Oh, yeah, nicely done there. Did Joe crash this way or did he crash going the other way? Honestly can't remember. Someone will tell us on the live stream.
A little bit before my time down here spectating.
Well, same. Okay, so we're back to 1 minute gaps as well after the Camerons, which is great. So we should see cars coming thick and fast. Yep.
So here is next competitor.
Coming through
Graham
Joe's.
Simons, I think.
Oh, nicely done, Graham. Straightened up on that crest, which is not a bad way to take. You just don't want to get your tail out too far because that drain just pulls you off the road, basically. Nicely over the crest. Just had to listen to that. That sounded cool. Oh, and he's wide. Jeez, did he go on?
Just holds it, man.
Just
that was
hold
close,
it.
eh?
Heard him have a big lift, and that's. I told you that corner's tricky. I really wanted to get a camera right there, but that's a tricky corner, that one, because it comes up after you've done everything, and you kind of almost, as you're coming over this jump here, you kind of go, oh, Phil, thank God that's over. You know, you've got through 3 pretty tricky crests, and then you forget about that tricky corner.
I think Joe might have been going the other direction, hearing from people commenting on the live stream, so thanks for that. So we should see Joe Ritchie next, the little Toyota Starlet. Steve Clark sitting alongside him.
So I've just been updated. It was the other way it was running. So thanks, Ellie, for that.
There is Jay.
And Ellie and Martin Rostenberg, I guess, went in there 2 cars later, apparently, which is a shame. And here we go round Joe's. Yeah, nicely through. And of course, Leanne Barnes was the other one that crashed going the same way there. Leanne went the wrong way. Just wanted to listen to that Starlet. Sounds cool. Went the wrong way on touring and was running a bit late, and she got a little bit angry, I think. And yeah, sadly enough, threw it off at Joe's. It's a very popular corner. Panel beaters love it.
Certainly is. Dave Thompson will be up next, the Australian visitor in the Hillman Avenger.
This is a cool car. Looked at this car closely at the end of the stage, at stage 12 or whatever it was, and yeah, what a ripper looking car.
So working our way through the historic field, of course, get quicker and quicker as we build up to the contenders at the back end of this run of cars. Hayden Paddon, Chris Meek, 2 stars of the WRC to finish off. Man, that's going to be cool. And then, of course, we'll see Hayden Paddon in the WRC car a little bit later on. And that will be spectacular.
Yeah, had a little bit of a look around that car at the service park. Man, those WRC cars are just a piece of work. They're amazing. And Hyundai, look, they gave Hayden his start, obviously, in WRC, and he repaid them with a win.
Here is Dave. See the drone behind. Amazing how talented the drone drivers are. Big shout out to Joe doing such an awesome job.
Joe does a great job. Up to Joe's corner. Nicely through Joe's corner. And now he's coming over with the crest where we are. Go Tomo. Nicely over the crest. Oh, V8 Avenger. Nice. And he's safely through and off down the road.
So I think another Australian are due through in just a moment. Michael Ward. Now, if I've got that one correct, that is the Toyota Corolla, the competitor that had the issues in the stage that was stopped. So carrying a wee bit of damage. Hopefully we get to see him back on the stage. Ed Mulligan. So a string of Australian competitors here. Is that Ed or is that... No, it's not. So that is Michael Ward. Good to see them back competing.
Yeah, fantastic to see them back.
Always scary when you hear a stage stopped and then a stage cancelled.
Yeah, of course it was.
Everyone all okay? Or?
Yeah, and a little bit of damage they're carrying there, but it's not too much at all.
So a run of Australians in the field. Michael Ward, Ed Mulligan, Dave Thompson, Stephen Sims. I think he's out now, unfortunately. Steve Sims. Josh Hilton as well.
Beautiful shots, really exciting having the element of the drone. We're hoping that we'll get a couple of shots of a bit of a jump that we do as we're heading up towards Tank Corner, like I say, along that ridge line. So we'll have to look at it when we get the cars that are able to jump.
Ed Mulligan in the Beamer.
There's Ed in the Beamer. This car sounds brilliant. He's having a good rally.
Yeah, he's been really impressive, hasn't he?
Definitely.
Down the middle of the road. Spectators on both sides. How cool.
That's cool. Great shot from the drone. You can see that corner. You can see the camber, and then see how it stops that camber?
Yeah.
That's when you lose it.
We walked up there. It's actually quite a bit of camber, eh? It's
a lot of
almost
camber.
banked like a...
Yeah, like a NASCAR
track.
Yeah. Oh, and this guy's catching him. Who we got here?
So I think that is Reese Musson, maybe?
Coming through Joe's, beautifully through Joe's. Yep, still a VIN.
It is Reese Musson from Wellington. Aidan Smith.
Coming over the... I'm going to call this the Brian Green crest. We've got our Brian Green banner right there. Over the Brian... There you go. I've named a corner. Through the MRF's right-hander. Name 2 corners. What if they'll stick? Through that little left-hander, and then he heads off up the road and into a little shimmy. That little shimmy's trickier than it looks, so the recce competitors would know you get a little bit of air, and if you're just maybe a foot off line, you're going to be not too happy.
So next up should be Peter Hannah Lights from Australia in the Ford Escort. Try and go back and get you some times from Special Stage 14. Dean Buist through the stage. So to Ari Pettigrew. So the next 2 cars we'll see coming through will be Chris Meek and Hayden Paddon. Hayden Paddon first, then Chris Meek as Light goes past. Another of our Australian competitors. And then it's the pointy end of the field. It'll be Ben Hunt, Robbie Stokes, Jack Hawkswood and co.
And of course they'll come through thick and fast.
This is the previous stage, of course, the Tyree Beach stage. And then they're straight here to the start line for the Currybush test.
It's a little shimmy. Nicely through.
So the Whistling Pig, Josh Hilton, Rodney Vanderpoel, Toyota Celica from Australia as well. They are next to come past. Just should get a shot of them any tick of the clock now. There they are. Oh, a bit wide out there in the marbles.
Yeah,
Does well
nice.
to hang on to it.
Nicely done. What's it going to be like around Joe's? We'll find out. Coming up to Joe's now. Oh, nicely done. No, he might have been warned about it. Some competitors have been warned about it, so it's. I think it does have a caution in the route book from memory. Over the Brian Green crest. And through the MRF sweeper. Nicely done.
So Hayden Paddon coming to the end of the Tyree Beach stage, the penultimate stage of the rally. So in a moment we should see the Ford Escort, Chris Lang from Otago, Anna Robinson from Alexandra.
You can't really see the camera in that camera shot, sadly enough, but the camera doesn't do it justice, in fairness. It would be a good 20 degrees, I would imagine.
So, question on the live stream, will the drone be at all rounds this year? We certainly hope so. If someone wants to help make that possible, you can get in touch with the NZRC team, put your brand on the drone. You get the video replays as well, which has been a really cool addition thanks to our Volt TV team.
Yeah, would be happy to have it. I mean, it
The
definitely
commentary team would love to have the drone at all rounds, so any help there would be much appreciated.
just gives us a bit more footage, and you can see the contour of the road. It helps us out so much, obviously. And of course, live TV's where it's at. You know, we have a fantastic TV show in a couple of weeks' time, but the live TV is what everyone is saying they want out there. So we've invested a lot of our budget into bringing the live stream live to you.
So I think this should be the Toyota Starlets. Oh, no, this is the Escort of Chris Lang, isn't it? Sorry.
Escort of Lang, yep. There's a little gap there. Nice and tidily through. Oh, little wiggle on it. Coming up to the Brian Green crest. Yeah, it's nice and flat over that. Good line. Big brake. And down a gear. Back on the gas. He's off.
So I was getting ahead of myself. Next up will be the Toyota Starlet, Josh Silcock, Generation 2. Of course, Dad John has been a regular in the championship over the years.
Here he comes.
Here comes young Josh.
Josh and the Starlet.
Two Silcock brothers competing in Starlets.
Nicely done. So he's looking like he's got some pretty good pace on there. Get around Joe's, son. Get around Joe's.
Talented family.
Oh, nicely done.
Nicely done.
Nicely done. A little wiggle. And then straight over Greenie's crest.
See his brother through very shortly in an identical car.
Yeah, he got it nicely in the end there. Off through the sweeper, and he heads down. You go down a hill, up a hill. The whole stage is downhill, uphill, downhill, uphill. And that's what makes it so tricky, because downhill corners are tricky, and the uphill corners, the problem is you're normally jumping. So she's a tricky little stage.
So it should be another Toyota Starlet. Rory Lawn next from Ireland. Gary Manning from Methven. So great to have the Irishman across here. Well, how about this? Chris Meek through the stage.
And he's got Hayden.
Has he got Hayden?
Yeah,
I think
3
he has.
seconds.
Yeah, he has.
Or 2.8 seconds through the stage.
So Meek the quickest in the penultimate stage, the Tyree Beach stage. 8.6 kilometre long test. Hayden Paddon 2.8 seconds adrift of him. And then Ari Pettigrew in the Escort as well. 13, 14 seconds up the road. So here's Rory.
That was awesome. And of course, Chris Meek got Hayden in the Waipori Gorge as well. Only by a little bit more that time. I think it was 5 seconds that time. So yeah, Chris Meek, some may say that Chris is faster, but to be fair, rejoining a rally the next day is always a bit harder, because that competitor in front of you has had all that, I guess, practice, time in the seat, and that's why Hayden's always been so hard for us Kiwis to beat, is because normally when he came and did the first round, he'd done 3 or 4 rallies overseas, so it was always hard to get him. So take nothing away from Mick getting a little bit of time out of Hayden.
Right, I think there might be a little bit of a gap now until Grant Walker, another of our Australian competitors in the Ford Escort RS 1800. Not sure how long we've got.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of it, and we're 8Ks in. Fantastic, that's nice to hear.
So beautiful conditions for the final stage of the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship season opener. Central Machine Hire Otago Rally, and what a finish we've got coming up. So we're going to play out over the next 20-25 minutes or so.
Yeah.
We'll have a look at some highlights before we see our next competitor.
That's Deborah Kibble, wide as anything. Nicely through that corner though. Oh, and this, look at that one. Look at the drone right above it. That's an amazing shot. And there's, of course, the Mirage. Up over that crest. Steve Cox and the beautiful Audi Quattro. Of course, I'm a bit of a fan of Audis.
So any moment now we'll see the first of the Cat 1 competitors finishing the Tyree Beach stage. Jack Hawkeswood should be first on the road there. The Force Motorsport Toyota GR Yaris. And then one of our contenders, Ben Hunt, the reigning national champion.
3-time.
Yeah, 3 national championships. You can see it on the livery of the car. And he is challenging for a win here at Otago Rally. 7.5 seconds he's going to have to claw back from Robbie Stokes over these last 2 stages.
I'm trying to think of the last time Ben won down here, actually.
He won here in 2019 because I think he won he was perfect heading into the final rally, and then it all came unstuck at Waitomo. Won the championship that year, but not able to complete the perfect season.
Yes, that's all right, you're right.
So Jack Hawkeswood safely through the stage, 4 minutes 43.3, the first of our Cat 1 competitors. As we see Grant Walker from Australia on screen, coming towards us in the Ford Escort.
So now we've got no dust, we can get that beautiful ridgeline shot from our drone. As you can see, flat out, like you're 140 to 160 k's through there. The top boys in there, in the AP4s and the WR cars, they will be 160 to 180. Maybe even more. And then it's like I say, it's all down to a huge break and into tank corner and you're way again. And it's coming up to Joe's, looks nice. Little stab of the brakes. Oh, yeah, no, nicely through, nice and tidy. That drone gives you a great effect of just how tricky Joe's corner is and how much of a drop off it is. Because it's right on a crest, it's corner right on a crest.
So Ben Hunt safely through the Tyree Beach stage, a time of 4:37.4. He is quickest by 5.9 seconds so far. And we'll see what Robbie Stokes has in store. He will be the next car to complete the stage, and that will give us the scenario for this final test. The Curry Bush stage will know what each other has to do.
I didn't actually want to talk over that PDA.
No, I'm sorry, I did. I'm just,
right at the end, so it was okay.
I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but I've got a time for Josh Marston. I don't have a time for Robbie Stokes. Don't tell me something has happened.
Don't say that.
Surely not.
Surely not. We're waiting on information.
Chris Sport, if you're listening.
Yep, please let us know.
To know what's going on there. So Josh Marston, third quickest so far, 8.3 seconds slower than Hawkeswood, 14.2 seconds slower than Ben Hunt. What does it do in the overall standings? It sees Jack Hawkeswood move in front of Josh Marston. So now Hawkeswood up to what would be second, if we're just obviously waiting for Robbie Stokes. So this is Paul Fraser on screen.
Just a cool looking car.
Hopefully it's just a timing issue and we'll get a time shortly for Robbie.
Coming up to Joe's. Yeah, nice and safely round Joe's corner. Nice and flat in the Nissan. Coming up to our big crest, our greeny crest. And yeah, nice and safely on the Brian Green crest.
It's our historic two-wheel drive champion from last year, Paul Fraser.
Yeah, great little peddler Paul, and I mean such a cool car in the replica looking colour scheme.
So I think the next car I'm told will be Louis King from the Philippines. He was in the H6 Impreza that had the roll yesterday. So a little bit out of order. Robbie's time is just coming through, so it is a timing issue. And here it is. He has come through in a time of 4:44.7, 7.3 seconds slower than Ben Hunt. So what does that do in terms of the overall thing?
It's nothing, isn't it?
Robbie Stokes leads by 0.1 of a second.
Oh, you're joking. Coming into the last stage.
0.1 of a second.
A commentator couldn't ask for anything better.
Wow. It is as close to a dead heat as we've got heading into the Curry Bush stage. How cool is this?
So did Robbie have a problem, or did Benny pull the finger? Because, I mean, that's a massive turnaround in speed. So good on you, Ben, if that's the case. And it's all going to be on for Curry Bush. 0.1 of a second. That's unbelievable.
That is phenomenal, eh?
You'd have to have your money on Ben. I'm sorry, but he's pretty damn good in Curry Bush. But holy smoke, I hope I'm proven wrong.
Oh, look, how cool. Look, it's going to be a cool story, whichever way it plays out. But, you know, Robbie's had a such a challenge over the last few years. We've got an issue here for Louis King.
Louis King, maybe he didn't like that crest. No, he's wiggling his wheels. I think he might have hit something with that front left. Looks a bit wobbly, that wheel. Is it wobbling? Please do not stop there. And do not stop on the exit of Joe's corner.
No, you want to get off the racing line here. Someone get off the road altogether.
Get off the road. He's already been off the road, so coming up to Joe's corner now. And what a ding-dong battle between those two. That's just phenomenal. I can't believe that. He's going to pull in by us, I think. Pull in here.
What an awesome
he's got his hazards on.
An awesome end to this rally. 15 kilometres left for those two competitors and 0.1 of a second separating them.
So little Filipino's got a problem. Is he going to pull in? No, he's going to carry on down the road. Holy smoke.
Who's behind him? I think there is a little bit of a gap.
Let's hope there's a gap.
I want to say there is a bit of a gap.
Nothing worse than you get to do your Kiri Bush stuck behind a car. Yeah, I think we have got a little bit of a...
Harry Silcock is the next car due to come through in the Toyota Starlet, so the second, the older of the two Silcock brothers.
And just heard that Charlie Evans has an engine issue off the line, of those that are following Charlie's times. He had a bit of a stop and a start again, which is good. A couple of
stages ago, yeah.
Yeah, good to see he was back in, and I didn't quite catch up with what happened there.
The RX-7, Dana Kikabosh sitting alongside him.
Yeah, and here you can see the crowd. Spectators everywhere. Nice and safe. Sounds like a BDA.
That's definitely not a Toyota Starlet.
No, that's a BDA. Go round, Joes. Oh, go, you good thing. That was awesome. That's not a BDA. That's a Corolla.
I'm not sure.
That's cool. Oh, beautiful.
Well done, mate.
Beautifully done. What a beautiful sounding car. I just did not want to talk when he went over that crest.
Jake Thomas, I think. Matt Webber in the Toyota Levin.
What car number? Just tell
me. You can see Louis King has pulled over. That is not an ideal spot to be.
No.
Gee, I wonder if they can get him off their car out of the road. So, my goodness, they probably should have pulled over where we were.
Yeah, so he did have a 2-minute gap as well to the car in front, but he's gained all that. Here's your Starlet.
So this is Harry Silcock. So Harry, again, as I say, one of two brothers here. Dad John is down here helping crew with the team.
Nicely over the Brian Green crest.
Talented youngster, this guy.
Yeah, he is. He's a hard peddler. A little bit of a deceleration back on the gas. Don't really think he braked. Hopefully that competitor's off. We can have a bit of dust in the van now. It's like we're rallying. He looks like he's off the stage. I can't see him anywhere there.
That's good.
You don't want to be there. Oh,
yeah,
he's off to the right there, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, it's a bit hard to see my monitor. I'm sorry.
So, 11C is due to come through now. Charlie Evans, as you see a helicopter.
Well, that's Mr. Hawkswood. If you're coming to watch Jack. It'll be Andrew and Kelly, his wife.
So Charlie, here he is.
Oh, no, that wasn't Charlie, but that was a good moment. We might have to go to a replay on that. Really sorry we missed the shots of it, but we will get those shots for you. And he's nicely through the MRS sweeper. Back up the hill and on the gas.
So Ben Harding and Charlotte Harding maybe in the RX-7.
Can we get a replay of that?
So Charlie Evans is in the stage. He's just stopped. We did get a report that he's had. Look at that. Oh.
That was awesome.
That is awesome.
That was a wagon tail, that's for sure. And then it's just crest. Just sounds ripper, that car.
So assuming we don't see Charlie Evans,
he might have had a problem.
Scott O'Donnell should be next. Mazda RX-3.
Looking up at tank corner with bated breath to see who it is.
the helicopter.
Okay, we'll watch Andrew a little bit longer, shall we? Andrew's good for the dust. Maybe that's what he's doing, blowing the dust away for Jack.
So Scott O'Donnell should be the next car we see in the RX3. Invercargill-based competitor. There's not for Motorsport. He's board member, I think, at Motorsport New Zealand, from memory.
And of course, because there's a chopper in the air, we have to be careful with the drones. So we're a bit limited with drone shots when there's helicopters around. Yep, that's our
Scott
RX3. Scott O'Donnell, of course, nearly at the end of the event. Good on him. He's had a pretty up and down sort of weekend. Coming up to Joe's, get through it. Yeah, nicely. So a little bit of overcut, and that's what you had to be careful of. That's a lot of competitors have cut that too much. I really want to listen to this rotary as it goes past us. So he's going over the Greenies crest, Iron Green crest. Oh, flame and all. Nothing like a rotor. Nicely done. On the gas and he's off.
All right, getting down to the last handful of our historic competitors. Derek Asen. He's been a historic winner here over the years in the Escort. He is, of course, piloting the new car this time around, the Opel Manta 400.
I've just been told Liv is in the chopper as well. That's Jack's girlfriend and friend of our family.
No stranger to the NZRC competitors.
No, Liv's
co-driven.
Out
couple
there.
Of years. Yeah.
Yep. Was always asking to have a co-drive in my car. I'm not sure why anyone would want to co-drive with me, but Liv was definitely keen. One day it might happen.
So there are some gaps in here, I'm told. That should be Derek Asen. We see that beautifully presented Opel Manta.
Such
Shed oil livery on it.
Yes, such a cool looking car. Hopefully he's still going. Can't be far away. Yes, so we've had to land the drone, so that's why we have no drone shots for the time being. We'll get him back up as soon as Andrew gets his bird on the ground. Get your bird on the ground, Andrew, if you're watching. Oh, nicely through Joe's. Tucked it in nicely. We've got a few spectators in the way as well. Jeez, it's all happening here, I tell you.
So there goes Derek Asen.
Derek Asen, that car just sounds so great. It's just proper. Looks the real deal as well.
So Ali Mackay in the Ford Escort Mark 1 should be the next car we see. He was very, very committed when we saw him on the live stream yesterday.
He was, yeah. Let's hope it's a Curry Bush commitment too. So we've got the drone back up now because Andrew just flew off over our head. It was all on for young and old if you weren't here.
Yeah, some of the spectators giving us their thoughts too. Apologies for that.
I think there's a bit too much dust.
That's not Ellie.
What have we got here?
It might be Stephen Gill, possibly.
Oh, beautifully through.
It is Stephen Gill.
Stephen Gill in the Escort. We have to listen to this one too, Budge. Coming up over the Brian Green crest. Oh,
beautiful.
Yeah, got light. That crest there, you will see the top boys if they take it flat. Obviously, Hayden and Ben and Robbie will take that flat, I'm guessing. And you will see them get maybe light, a little bit of air. The WRC car, I think it'll get a lot of air. I'm hoping. We'll see.
So now it should be Ali Mackay. He's in the stage. So too Ari Pettigrew. So I'm hearing Ari's got some issue, bit of a misfire on his car. He's charging hard again, isn't he, Ali Mackay?
Just incredible. Like I say, another one I didn't want to talk over. Beautiful, beautiful line round Joe's and the Brian Green crest, flat out. What a stunning piece of road we're watching from. We're so lucky to have these images. People, of course, sitting in their lounges in the comfort. These poor spectators are here getting full of dust, stones in their teeth.
Right, Ari Pettigrew, Dean Buist, and then the 2 WRC stars left in our historic field.
We are getting to the pointy end. Do not go and make a cup of tea.
So here is Ari Pettigrew. So I can tell you now that Hayden and Chris Meek are both in the stage.
Excellent. Ari, pushing beautifully, though. Nice and straight on the exit. A little bit sideways on the apex. Coming up to Brian Green's crest. And should be flat. And just dips it in wide. Absolutely awesome shots. Didn't lift. Flat out over Brian's crest, and great to see him. Just the widest on the dipper so far, I think. On the sweeper. He had a beautiful. When you're coming over that jump and the camera angle doesn't really do it much justice, but you come down probably about 30 metres in height, and you have a bit of a compression at the bottom, and then you climb up another 30 metres, but the camera almost makes it look flat. It doesn't really do it a lot of justice, but it's such a cool piece of real estate.
Dean Buist now, he is the leader of the historic rally here at the Otago Rally.
And we all kind of hoped Dean would be up there, but to be leading is fantastic. And yes, it's through a bit of misfortune of others, but look at him. He can drive.
He is a brilliant peddler. Dean Buist, going to have him in the championship all year.
Fantastic. That'll be exciting.
And he is heading to maximum points in the historic class.
Beautifully over Brian Green's crest. And the sweet, sweet sound of a Mark II escort.
All right, folks, here we go. The 2 WRC stars, one after the other. Hayden Paddon, our Kiwi champ, will be the next car we see. Driving the BDA escorts. Jared Hudson sitting alongside him. So Dad Rocky Hudson here amongst the crowd watching. And then it'll be Chris Meek, one after the other. Line of Stern, the first time we've really seen it, certainly on the live stream. Misfortune with both of them, one of them yesterday, one of them today.
I know, dust everywhere. We've got dust in the van even. Well, yes, and we've got the drone up, fantastic. It was perfect timing, so we should be able to get some good drone shots of Hayden, Chris Meek, and then, of course, our NZRC stars at the pointy end of the field.
So 2-minute gaps, I believe, for these two competitors, for obvious reasons.
We're good. That dust will be nice and settled. So any minute now, we'll see them appear out of tank corner. You can almost see the anticipation on the crowd's face, can't you?
We can see a helicopter following it, so I'm guessing that's what we've got. Tim Smith, the fastest through the stage so far, then Derek Asen. 12-second the gap, but
go Tim, it's going great.
Here come the big guns. Hayden Paddon, there he is.
Here he is, coming into view beautifully through that angle. So he's coming up to Joe's corner now. Little break for Joe's, dips it in. Oh, beautifully through Joe's corner.
Full commitment from Paddon, as we've come to know.
Brian Green crest right now, and he's airborne through there. Oh, and he's wagging the tail. Nicely through the right-handed sweeper, and he's got a chopper chasing him, so we've had to be a bit careful with our drone. You can see the chopper up there in the foreground, but that must be a great view watching Hayden go through Kirribush in a chopper.
Oh, how good, and how good we're going to see him in a WRC car
very, very soon.
Very winning WRC car at that very shortly.
Yes.
So we've got a slight pause now before we see Chris Meek on stage. Two great rivals.
I think it's another 2-minute job, isn't it?
Yep.
So, well, I thought, look, my view on Hayden, nice and tidy, a little bit loose over the Brian Green jump, but I mean, like, you know, it does get loose there. Your car does get loose, and it's a hang-on over that. Beautifully through the little compression at the bottom of it, and then into the sweeper he was charging. Tidy through tank corner, full commitment. You know, sorry, not tank corner, Joe's corner, full commitment. We didn't quite see him. Now, the reason why we can't get up to tank corner is because the Australian TV crew is up there as well, because, of course, we've got so many top-ranked competitors here. Everyone wants that piece of real estate.
They certainly do.
So we've had to share.
See the dust coming in the distance. Chris Meek not too far away now.
Coming along that ridge line.
So Ari Pettigrew goes fastest through the stage, 3 seconds quicker than Tim Smith. Dean Buist to post the time very shortly, and then Hayden Paddon. Here is Chris
Here he
Meek.
comes.
Rosendale, Ford Escorts.
Oh, beautifully through there. Now, we will not talk as he comes past us, so you can listen to that BDA. Coming up on Joe's now. Tips it in beautifully around Joe's. Look at that.
Wow.
As crazy as you can get. And he's going to be flat over this crest. Another chopper following. Over the Brian Dean crest. Oh.
So car
Stunning.
driven by some of the biggest names in world rallying, that one.
Of course, Chris Meek, WRC star, for those that maybe don't know, probably most famous for his excursion through the car park and I mean, getting back and still winning the rally. Who does that? I know he did Currybush last year and he raved about it. A lot of stuff on his social. Talking about how beautiful our New Zealand roads are. So great to see all these international competitors here, and of course people like Colin Clark as well, feeding all the Dirtfish pages back in the UK and through Europe. So really helping to put New Zealand on the map, which is great, and our fantastic Otago stages. We got some replays maybe, Director Dan, before the pointy end. We're coming into the pointy end, of course.
So yeah, there'll be a little bit of a gap here before we see Jack Hawkswood, first of our NZRC Cat 1 competitors. He's got a bit to play for too. We'll give you an update on those standings.
So here's some of our replays. So they're replays, people, not live. Joe's Corner.
Tell you too, Jack Hawkswood is in the stage. In fact, this is live, I'm told. So the car out of order here.
Oh, out of order. Apologies. This happened rallying Charlie Evans. It is too. There you go, Charlie. So we weren't expecting Charlie Evans, but this happens. What happens? Cars stop. They get a puncher. They fix, and that's why sometimes it's not like a racetrack where it's a perfect racing order. Rally is. You know, it's just what it is, isn't it? It's anyone can appear at any time. If you get held up by a car like Charlie, it's going to affect your stage time. You can ask the officials if they'll assess a stage time, but they don't have to. It's what we call a rally incident. So, pretty tricky. No one's stuck behind him, thank goodness.
So Jack Hawkswood in the stage, Dylan. So the first of our Cat 1 competitors there. Now, talk about battles. 0.1 of a second, we know the difference between Robbie Stokes, who has the slimmest of margins over Ben Hunt, heading into this final test.
He's in his own battle, isn't he, with
There's
Emma?
only 3.8 seconds between Jack Hawkswood in third place currently and Josh Marston in fourth.
Josh, that's right, yeah. No, fantastic. And I mean, Josh is really peaking at the right end, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, both Josh and Jack. Jack's come storming back. He was in a battle with Emma Gilmore for fifth, not so long ago, fifth and sixth.
Oh, so Jack's really pulled
Jack
back
has
then.
absolutely got the pedal to the metal this afternoon, and it's the same three competitors that hold the top three spots as they did last year when we had that epic finish.
Yes, it was too.
So battle for first and second, assuming they can both complete the stage, Robbie and Ben, and then Jack Hawkswood is a minute 52 down in third, but he's only 3.8 seconds clear of Josh Marston.
And we're going to the highlights reel now.
We won't be too far away from Jack. He's on stage a couple of minutes already.
There's our rotary car, obviously RX3.
It's Derek
That's
Asen.
our drone shot above Derek.
He was committed,
Hayden
wasn't
Paddon. Just beautiful shots.
Right time through from Hayden Paddon in this stage. 7 minutes 47.1. 27 and a half seconds quicker than Harry Pettigrew.
Wow.
30 seconds faster than Dean Buist.
Sorry, that was Hayden.
That was
there,
Paddon
wasn't
there.
that fantastic? How much faster?
30 seconds faster than Dean Buist. That is phenomenal from Paddon. So any tick of the clock here. In fact, guess what the margin is? Hayden Paddon by 0.1 of a second over Chris Meek.
Chris Meek, wow.
0.1 of a second. It has been the theme this
0.1.
afternoon. That's the gap between Robbie Stokes
Wow. I
our
don't think...
defending national champion Ben Hunt as the stage is underway. Both those drivers are in the stage.
I don't think Hayden could live with himself if he let Chris beat him in Kirrybush. And you can visibly see Hayden pushing. You know, I mean, Hayden's never ragged, but when he went over that Brian Green crest, you could see the car get a little bit loose on the compression. You know, that is Hayden pushing. The best thing is we've just seen Hayden push for 14 Ks. He's now going back to the service park to jump in his WRC car and
Jack
push
Woodford.
hard. Here comes Jack, coming down through the valley and into Joe's corner. Joe McAndrew's corner, beautifully through there.
Force Motorsport GR Yaris. This is the rally winner from last year. He's going to have to settle for a podium at best here, but he's got some work to do between now and then. Josh Marston breathing down his neck.
He will be pushing. He will want that podium. I mean, good boy, Jack. It's it's nearly finished, mate. You've only got about 7 more Ks to go, and you're at home. You can taste some champagne if you're good enough.
He had a frustrating day yesterday. There were some brake issues. We spoke to him at the end of special stage 1, and he could barely pull up and control. The brake pedal was just going to the floor. So, challenging day. But he has managed to get a good result here. This could well be a podium finish. Should well be a podium finish if he can just piece together the second half of the stage.
And I think we've got 2-minute gaps as well for most of the top guys, so which is cool.
So the dust making its way back into our Volt TV.
Yeah, there's dust everywhere. We've got dust where we are. Can't see our TV monitor, I'm sorry. So if you're wondering why we're a bit slow on the cars, it's we've got sun strike and dust strike. So I feel like I'm in a rally car.
So we're about to see our reigning champion, our reigning national champion, I should say, Ben Hunt.
Ben Hunt.
And he has 0.1 of a second to claw back off Robbie Stokes, who will be sitting on the line behind him. In fact, both cars in the stage now as we speak. So,
and I think Ben will be full attack through Tank Corner.
I think both of them will be full noise here. I think Robbie will put it all on the line. He's been so close to winning, so much promise. He was almost a victim of his own success. Burst onto the scene. A lot of expectations.
We see
Ben.
Ben,
big wiggle
wide there. That's really wide. That's a nice straight piece of corner. But good boy, Benny's going to be trying. Here he comes into. Oh, beautiful. Oh my goodness! I just had to breathe in there. Good boy, Ben Hunt. He's trying. Coming over the Brian Green crest. You should see him get a little bit light. Oh, lovely.
He is leaving nothing out there.
No, he is definitely leaving nothing out there, and definitely got pretty light over that crest.
So the Skoda New Zealand Fabia Rally 2, Ben Hunt, with it all to do. He's going to have Jack Stokes a minute or two down the road. They are essentially, for all intents and purposes, neck and neck here. Whoever sets the fastest time through the stage will win our rally and take first blood in what should be an epic battle.
So Ben's 4.9 up on Jack at the 5K.
Here's Ben
Oh,
again.
replay on Benny. Jeepers. Now that's just coming out of Tank Corners. That's only a little kink. I think he's cut it a little bit too much on the inside. There's a bit of a bank that's flicked him over. But look at that air. You couldn't quite see it, but he got air jumping sideways. So in a car, that is seriously cool fun.
So Robbie Stokes, the Stokes Motorsport Skoda Fabia Rally 2 now. Identical car to Ben. First event for Robbie in that car.
You
can hardly see anything,
It's a little bit tricky seeing that shot.
Big ups to the camera crew doing their best here. There's the drone shot.
Yeah, we might get more from the drone, I think. That dust is really just hanging, isn't it?
No surprise, new classic stage record for Hayden Paddon through the stage. And obviously Chris Meek right there with him. We can see the dust trails.
Across the ridge line. So he's coming
Robbie
up on
Stokes.
tank. He'll be doing 170, 180 Ks. And he'll be hard on the brakes right about now and popping it down to second gear or maybe third. Back on the gas and it'll be a 90 right and then he's off through the kink. Here he comes down the hill. And up to Joe's. Full commitment expected. Turns in early. Oh, lovely done. Nicely done. Actually pretty tidy. Pretty tidy. Coming up to the Brian Green crest. Flat.
I think he was tidier than Ben.
Flat out.
Smoother than Ben. I'm not sure. Ben might have been quicker. He was Ben looked more on the edge. But Robbie was smooth.
That is very tidy for Robbie. Beautiful line. Full commitment though was so. We're going to replay it so you can look at that
Robbie's got some work to do. He's 2.3 seconds down to Ben
There
at
he
the
is through
5K mark.
Joe's.
So at the moment, it's Ben Hunt with his
done.
nose in front with 2/3 of the stage remaining on that time.
A little bit light through there, but it was very, very tidy, full attack. I do, like I say, Ben loves this stage, and you'd have to get up pretty early to beat Benny Boy on
It's
it. I mean,
one little mistake though. There is
it
nothing
is.
in this.
And look,
honestly.
Ben was pushing. You don't see Ben very often
Yeah.
getting a little bit untidy, and he was definitely pushing. Joe's corner. Of course, you've got a huge crowd there, and Ben's not one to ham it up to a crowd, but he's pushing. He's right. He wants that rally win.
Jack Hawkswood safely through the stage, time of 7:36 flat, so he is 11.1 seconds quicker than Paddon's time in the BDA. And that will be the challenge now for Josh Marston. He's going to have to go through in around about 7:32 if he is to grab a podium finish. As we see, this will be Emma Gilmore, I think.
Yeah, it should be Emma. That's her dust trail. She's coming up on tank.
Frustrating weekend again for Emma. I mean, the speed is there. Just that puncture on the
Yeah.
opening stage really took her out. She should have been right in the thick of this battle had it not been for that puncture.
Here she comes now.
In fact, that's Josh. It is Josh.
Oh, it's Josh. Sorry, not Emma.
Emma will be next. Here is Josh Marston. Great return to the championship for Josh. Missed most of all of last year.
Wide on Joe's, but he got away with it nicely. I thought he was a bit wide at the entry there, and you actually don't want to be too wide on it. Coming up over to the Brian Green Crest, as flat out as you want. All the note says on the Brian Green Crest is keep left.
Oh, Robbie's answered. Robbie has answered. It's 1.8 seconds, the difference between Ben and Robbie at the 10k mark in Ben's favour.
So he's come as
It's
4
nothing
Ks to
in
go.
it. It is absolutely a knife edge.
4 Ks to go, and
Ben is
my
through the
Lord.
stage, a time of 7:21.2. He was 14.8 seconds quicker than Hawkswood.
7:21. That's
7:21,
actually,
man,
that's
is
not
fast.
as fast as he did 7:16 last year. So little
Yeah.
bit down. Maybe it's a bit gravelly.
There's Josh letting it all hang out.
Oh, beautiful shots of Josh coming up to the Brian Green Crest. He's going to be flat out over that. Keep left, Josh. Keep left.
Great to have the RDL Barina back in the championship.
There you
this
go.
year.
You can see a bit of air there, and see where you keep left. Big crest.
Here's Jack through it.
Beautiful shots of Jack.
So, we should be any second now. We'll see a time for Robbie Stokes, and we will decide the 2025 Central Machine Hire Rally Otago. Will it be Ben Hunt? Will it be Robbie Stokes? It was Ben by, don't want to say it, don't want to sound like Ian Smith here, but the barest of margins, the tiniest of margins.
There was not much in it, 1.8. It is only a slide wide. Hopefully they... And I mean, there's plenty of corners. I can think of all the corners where you can slide wide, and there's many of them.
So here is Emma Gilmore, the Vantage New Zealand Citroen C3.
Of course, the local girl, and she knows these roads better than most.
Still a solid haul of points for Emma.
Here she comes down the valley towards Joe's. Looking nice and tidy. Great drone shots. Now you watch Emma. She'll show us how to do it. Nicely in. Easy on the AP. Oh, that was nice. Nice and straight and tidy and on the gas. Coming up to the Brian Green Crest, which I know she will take flat. Not a lift inside. And the beautiful C3? What
Time is through.
Oh, you're
Robbie
joking.
Stokes, 7:24 flat. It means Ben Hunt is the champion for 2025. The reigning New Zealand champion wins the Central Machine Hire Otago
Wow.
Rally by 2.8
points.
seconds.
That's amazing. Well done, Ben Hunt. Well done, Robbie. Second place. Of course, we'll let you know when Josh gets to the end who's going to be in third. But I did say heading into it, you'd have to be a brave man to bet against Ben Hunt in that stage. He's lightning quick. And when I heard his time, I was like, oh, I think there is a chance there, but it just goes to show. Kirrybush is probably a little bit gravelier than it was last year. That's why our times are a little bit slower.
So stunning performance from Ben Hunt. He will take the championship lead from Otago. First one in the books. Robbie Stokes, there'll be some disappointment, I'm sure, in the Stokes Motorsport camp. At lunch they had a 1-2 position, and unfortunately going to have to settle for runner-up, but a lot to like about what we've seen from both of those two competitors this weekend. I know it's bittersweet, but a second spot on the podium is nothing to be sneezed at, and Robbie should feel pretty encouraged about.
100%. It's a long championship, it really is, and we've seen people win the first round that haven't won, the championship. And it is all about the championship. People remember rally winners, but they remember champions better more. So awesome driving there from Benny, and Robbie, nothing to hold you. First time in that car. That's phenomenal. P2, nearly a P1.
So Robbie will take leg 2 by 7.8 seconds from Ben Hunt, so he gets the day points, Robbie.
Oh, okay.
That's a little bit more in his favour. As we see James Worker working his way towards us. There's a little bit of smoke I heard reported coming from the back of that car, so hopefully he can navigate his way through the second half of the stage.
Only about 7Ks to go from here. He looks pretty good. Coming into Joe's corner. Ooh, Jeebus, as wide as you want it. You don't want to go too much wider
this
there.
Weekend, man. He has put some really good times together.
He's a great peddler. And what position is he in?
Overall, I think he's in the top 5.
Top 5. That's fantastic.
Obviously not part of the championship, so doesn't factor into...
Needs to be.
Yeah,
he needs to get in the NZRC.
So just waiting on a time for Josh Marston. It'll give us our answer for who completes the podium. It's Jack Hawkswood's to lose at the moment. He did a time 7:36 flat. It's going to have to be 7:32, the early 7:32s for Marston if he's going to steal a podium spot.
Oh, look at that.
Excuse me.
There's Ben, and see what I mean? Ben's pushing.
Yeah, that's as ragged as you see Ben.
Yeah, you never see him that... And it's not really ragged because he's still fast, but it's ragged by Ben's standards. And even there, in the old keep left. Nicely done. And we might have Robbie too with a bit of luck. No, we're going to a car.
So I think, is this Caleb McDonald next? Work is 6th overall. Thank you, Chris.
How many people can we get on the tank?
What's the weight limit on there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's about 12 people on the tank in tank order.
Still waiting on a
time
we got up for
there?
Josh Marston.
Look at them all standing around it too. There will be people, you can't really see, but that bush in the middle there, for the next 100 metres, there will be hundreds of people as well. We can't get up there with our drone, of course, because that's where our Australian counterparts are doing their TV broadcast from.
So, Caleb McDonald should be next. There he is.
Here he is.
On cue. Rally Challenge 4-wheel drive winner from yesterday. Of course, that's the one-day event. He is basically entering in the all-comers part of today.
Coming up on Joe's. Yeah, nicely through Joe's. Not a problem. And we should keep it pinned over Greeny's crest. Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, had some brake issues as well, I believe, earlier today.
Got to be happy with like I say, 7Ks to go. I don't want to put the mockers on them, but that's a pretty good result.
Absolutely.
In an older car, Evo 6 is 20-something years old. They're not a new car.
Well, he had such misfortune last year, like a really, really strong campaign. It just all came unstuck the last 2 rounds, and
yes,
saw what would have been a potential title-winning run.
Yeah, he's definitely got the talent. Got the talent. Just needs a bit of luck now.
And he's certainly taken put his best foot forward on opening day yesterday, enough to take the rally win, or his class win. So we should see, I think it's Hayden McKenzie actually back out in the Albany Toyota Yaris.
Oh, it'd be great to have another one that had actually Otago as a round that he just never excels at. I was impressed with his pace 2 years ago down here, and then sadly enough he just got a little bit wide and clipped the bank, and it was Chernobyl. But what really impressed me was he came back the next round, bounced back from a massive crash. I think it was Whangarei back then, and bounced back from this massive crash and had a beautiful Whangarei round. So just seen Kingsley Thompson walk past us. Bit of a shame that they're out. I don't know what happened to them. What happened, Kings? He's looking for where we are. He can't see us. We're in the van.
Yeah, Kingsley Jones, I think.
Oh, did I say Thompson? Kingsley Jones, sorry.
Kingsley might even come over and have a quick chat to us. What happened to you?
We've got to finish finished 7th, but we decided there was too many little problems, so we called a pin.
Bugger.
That's disappointing. So, good to be back in the car, though.
Very good to be back in the car. Had a lot better day today.
Hey, we've got a car coming. Here's Hayden McKenzie coming through Joe's corner right now. And he lifted a wheel up on Joe's. It's never a good way to do it. Coming up on the Brian Green crest. I had to listen to that lag. As flat as you want it. Beautifully done. That's a shame, Kingsley. Kingsley's right beside us in the van here. So, you had a pretty good weekend, though, I thought. I know you were out of practice for the week. For the event. You hadn't really done a lot of skids. You did a couple of skids before it. But you pretty happy with the way the car went?
I was happy with the car. It was just lots of little niggles that were there, and I was pretty rusty. So, the biggest problem was I kept pushing the middle pedal really hard, and it wouldn't go any faster.
The brake pedal. You've got to push the right pedal, Kingsley. I've told you this before.
That's what's wrong. That's my whole weekend gone right there, thanks to Dylan Turner.
Dale Perry would tell you, get off the brakes, Kingsley. Get off the brakes. Get on that loud pedal. Good on you, mate. You're still out there doing it, and we're all jealous of you. Good on you.
No problem.
Yeah, look forward to seeing Kingsley at the next round in Timaru as well. A couple of international competitors due to come through now. Julian Longley from Vanuatu. And then from New Caledonia, Eugene Crune. So I think we're still coming in 2-minute intervals.
Can't see a bloody thing here. Look at our monitor. It's full of dust.
That's Julian.
27, I think. 3:20. Soon.
So yeah,
it was just through.
Just waiting on a time for when Hayden Paddon will be bringing the WRC car through.
It can't be far away. We're trying to get an update on that.
To be fair, he's got to get from the end of the stage, which he finished, about 15 minutes ago, back to the start of the stage. I think he'll be a little way. I think probably another 20 minutes, half an hour yet.
Yeah, but that's going to be awesome. Who we got through here?
That's Longley. He's gone all right.
He's gone
under
fantastic.
the radar, Julian. Yeah.
Get around Joe's. Nicely round Joe's. Nice and tidy, actually. And he's coming up on the Brian Green crest. Should be flat out. Might have a little lift. That looked pretty fast to me. So good on him. And he's safely through the sweeper. Yeah, nicely done. I mean, long way to come to do a rally. And, they're always... It is one of the hardest rallies you'll ever do. It's the roads are... Sorry, we've got something.
I've got a time coming through for Josh Marston.
Oh, Josh Marston, of course, in the battle.
7:35 flat.
That's a good time.
11 seconds off the pace of the Ben Hunt time. But if I go into the overall, it'll be 2.8 seconds the difference. So Jack Hawkswood secures third spot on the podium. Josh Marston misses by 2.8. He beat him on the stage, but not by enough.
Wow, because that was a good time for Josh.
That's a really good time. Yeah, he didn't probably look as quick, actually. I thought he was within himself, but that's a great performance.
I thought he was pushing. I mean, we saw him go over the crest, and he looked pretty fast, but that's fantastic. Only just coming back from a year or maybe even 2 years off, really, the New Zealand Rally Championship. So, fantastic. And that... Jack Hawkswood's last year's round winner. Jack took the win down here. So, well done, Josh. Hold your head high and proud. But well done, Jack, of course, for being on the podium. Not quite the top step he was on last year, but Benny and Co have been very, very fast.
So Eugene Crune would be the next competitor we see. New Caledonian driver. Here he is.
And of course, the Rally Art car.
Driven by Shane Van Gisbergen at the Jacks Ridge Rally Sprint, the one where
was coming up to... Oh, do you take it easy through there? Oh, yeah, nicely done. Nicely done through Joe's corner. You do get a bit nervous watching people that don't know that corner. And he's nice and flat over the Brian Green crest and into the sweeper. And he's off up the hill. Nicely done, nice and tidy. 7 more Ks and he'll be at the finish.
So getting towards some of the class battles. The NZRC two-wheel drive competitors will be through shortly. It's been a great battle back and forth all weekend. Bryn Jones and Tim Mackesy.
Yeah, of course.
Bryn has a handy lead coming into this last stage. It's his to lose, but nothing is guaranteed until you get over that finish line.
Well, we saw that with Charlie Evans, didn't we? I mean, Charlie lost a good 3 or 4 minutes.
The WRC car is arriving at time control 15, so that means Hayden Paddon's WRC car. Was he been in a helicopter?
Yeah, they said he was going to be pretty quick, but maybe.
Must have been helicopter to get back from there.
We saw Hawkswood disappear, so maybe he's giving him a lift.
So,
how exciting is that?
Sean Haggerty will be the next car we see. Haggis.
Well, Sean's no slouch, so we really want to watch this too. This will be exciting. Maybe we could thank our sponsors in case you don't know who they are. You've got Brian Green Property Group, of course. You've got MRF Tyres, Cream Insurance, and Omega Rental Cars.
Yeah, massive thanks to all of those partners for allowing us to do this. So I believe Haggerty is in the stage, so too is Bryn Jones. That's interesting if they put the WRC car in between Bryn and Tim Mackesy, because those two are battling for a class win.
I'd say they'll give it a 3 or 4 minute gap.
Yeah. Here is Haggis.
Nicely through, nice and safely through, coming up on Joe's. This will be good.
He's always full noise.
He is.
Full commitment.
Hard charger. Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. Lifted a wheel, little bit of a cut. Should be flat over the crest. He's pretty brave. Definitely as flat as you want. Pop, pop, pop goes the anti-lag and he's off.
So good job by Haggis. Always fast down here.
He's fast everywhere. He's a good peddler.
Right, so that'll be the 2 Ford Fiestas line astern is what I'm told. So Bryn Jones is in the stage. Tim Mackesy is just starting. It'll be those two, and then we will see Hayden Paddon in the WRC car.
So 2 more cars, and then we'll have a little bit of a gap, and then, straight into watching Hayden.
So the difference between, let me just check that out, between Bryn and Tim. So Bryn holding the NZRC 2-wheel drive lead by, how good is my maths here, 37.4 seconds. 37.4 seconds should be enough. Stranger things have happened. Bryn's got to safely navigate these 15Ks, one of the toughest stages in world rallying, let alone New Zealand rallying.
So I've seen pictures of the WRC car on the line, so she can't be far away from entering into the stage.
Simon Bell at the start line's telling me all of the cars that are at the start have got out of their vehicles and are going to watch Hayden take off into the stage. That's pretty cool, eh?
How cool is that? You know, that would be like...
They're all rally fans at the end of the day,
and that's it. It would be like if you were playing golf with Tiger Woods and you can walk up and watch him tee off.
Hold fire, I'll take my putt in a minute. I just want to watch this
I
next
just want to
tee
watch
shot.
Tiger Woods tee off. Because, of course, he, in my opinion, he's the Tiger Woods of New Zealand rallying, and fantastic to see this car.
Here's Bryn.
Here comes Bryn.
Little Rally 4 Fiesta. So both he and Tim in identical cars. Great to see Mackesy really laying the challenge down to Bryn this year.
Nicely through. It'll be interesting to see what Dylan Thompson's times were last year on the Curry Bush. Nice and flatly over there.
I can tell you, Dylan Thompson has the stage record last year in the Rally 4 Fiesta, a time of 7:56.6.
Under 8's pretty good going.
I think he was flat the whole stage.
I've done, in my old Evo 9, I remember I did a time over 8, so that's pretty good in a 2-wheel drive. Admittedly, we didn't have a 3rd gear, I think, from memory, or 4th gear, but fantastic times. A little bit more gravel this year, so are we going to see Hayden go under 7? I don't know. There's a few.
It will be interesting.
There's a few sweepstakes going around that Hayden will go. I think Hayden was saying that he thought he might have a 640, 645 in the car.
Wow.
But I don't know if the conditions are going to be quite that quick. So I'm picking a 755. Maybe 25 seconds off Ben's time, I think, would be pretty brave to suggest.
25 faster?
Yeah, I think maybe. I don't know. I could be totally wrong, but
I mean, if we
she's
look
a
at
WRC car.
The stage record overall was 2023.
Yep.
In his Rally 2 car, 7:12.8.
Yep, so yeah.
Can he go under 7?
Got to be under 7. Got to be a second a K quicker than a Rally 2. Have to be.
We'll see very shortly. One more
We
car
will
to go.
find
It'll be
out.
Tim Mackesy in the Rally 4 Fiesta. You can see him coming across the ridgeline top left of your screen. So he really needs Bryn to have an issue. About In excess of 30-second time difference.
So after this one, can you make sure you go?
So here we go. Tim Mackesy. Local rally for him. Hayden Paddon is in the stage.
So he started.
The WRC car is on its way to us.
Nicely through Joe's corner there.
This is a really encouraging result, I think, for Tim. He's going to be, in all likelihood, second to Bryn, but he's shown enough this weekend. He had a 30-second lead over Bryn at one point.
Heck of good pace over the Brian Green crest. He was as flat out as you like, and I think that one's going to come down to the line. I really do. I don't think it's going to be enough to beat Bryn, but I think they might be trading some stage times there.
Oh, absolutely. I think it bodes well for the rest of the championship that Tim's got something to take to Bryn. Bryn's not as keen in the tighter, twistier stuff, so I think when we get to Coromandel especially, maybe Forestry Rally in Canterbury, we might see Tim come into his own a wee bit.
Yeah, North Canterbury's the next round, isn't it? Or South Canterbury, sorry. And
it's a bit more like this, but
yeah, a little bit fast. I think Bryn will probably have an edge there, and then it could be all on.
All right. We will take a quick breather. When we return, it'll be to see the WRC car, Hayden Paddon, in the stage.
Let's be honest. You want to rent a car from someone who'll see you right. So here's a few reasons to put Omega Rental Cars top of your list. Do we have a modern fleet, all fully checked and ready to roll?
Yes, we do.
Do we offer keen prices, unlimited Ks, and free additional drivers?
Yes, you do.
And do we support New Zealand motorsport because we love cars? And maybe to look a bit flash.
Yes, you do.
There you go. Omega Rental Cars, your upfront and honest car rental company.
Myself a little bit excited there for a second too. Looked up, saw a car.
We're still probably a minute away from
Josh
Hayden.
Marston.
Josh beautifully through. Josh was definitely pushing.
Yeah, lots to like about his performance.
Nice.
His return to the championship as well. Good haul of points.
Yeah. Emma was pushing as well.
Emma settled for fifth, but again a good haul of points. And a lot to like about her times yesterday.
Oh, definitely. That's a beautiful line. It's wide.
Well, we can't be too far away
from seeing Hayden Paddon, so we're sending our drone up to hopefully catch him.
Coming up over that long straight in the far distance, any tick of the clock now.
Hayden McKenzie, awesome.
I think we'll jump out of the... I think it might be time to jump out of the highlights and we'll go live.
So we've got the wide view. So up the top right-hand corner there, we've panned out. Where are we going? Yeah, top right-hand corner there is where the cars will come into view. That's our jump. Yeah, there you go. So straight top right-hand corner there of the centre of the screen, just beyond those trees is where we'll see Hayden appear in a couple of minutes. That is a flat-out crest, and you can see the cars. Here he comes now. Awesome.
That is a WRC winning car. This is victory in Argentina.
Hayden Paddon. So up here he will be knocking on the door of 190 Ks. Of course that car's probably not going to really go too much faster than that. I just can't wait to hear it. We will not talk from when he goes past Joe's, I promise, so we can listen. Flat out, he's taking that crest. Oh man, that's fast. We can almost hear it already. Just beautiful. Look at the downdraft with the with the dust coming off. It's incredible. So he's going to do a little shimmy of the right-hander and he'll disappear from our view as he comes up. Another little right-hander and he'll come into tank corner, down through the gears, bang, bang, bang. Of course, close ratio, sequential gearbox. And it's beautiful. I'm excited. Straight through tank.
Look at the speed. You can see the
Look
difference
at the
too.
speed.
Eh?
It's incredible. He's coming up to Joe's corner. Come on, hug Joe's nicely. We'll get those shots again, don't you worry. But that was nice and wide as you want. Now he's coming out to Brian Green's crest. And he got here.
Absolutely spectacular.
Oh, that was special. Because we had two helicopters, so I couldn't quite hear the sound, but wasn't that special? I mean, Hayden Paddon in a WRC car. New Zealand, fantastic to see. Thank you everyone that made that happen. Of course, the rally organisers and Hayden Paddon Motorsport, and obviously all the owners of that car. That was fantastic. Can't wait to hear the time now.
There we go.
Here's the replays. Look how direct that car is. It's just got such good turn in. Really want to see him around Joe's on the camera if we can. That's the drone shot. We will have that camera somewhere, so I'm sure we can get that. There's the drone following him because we had to stay low for the drone. Oh, and just as flat out as you like over the crest there, the Brian Green crest, and then into the big sweeper. And I tell you what, I don't even think he lifted for that sweeper. I think he took that sweeper flat.
That was pretty cool.
That was pretty special.
So we'll go back to normal proceedings now. We're all going to take a big breath. Dave Strong will be the next
there
car.
it was. Look at that, as wide as you want. Holy smoke. Take that replay straight to the pool room.
Yeah,
and look at the air that he had. These spectators there are getting a real special treat watching Hayden Paddon flat over that Brian Green crest. That was amazing.
So we'll see, I'm sure, the in-car of that attempt at Curry Bush in the coming hours. It'll be well worth a look.
I think that will definitely be up, and I'll definitely be watching that a few times, and I'll be like, that's where I go wrong. When I lifted that first corner that Hayden takes flat.
Wow, that was cool.
That was amazing. Definitely got the blood pumping, and yeah, what a special treat. Almost all the spectators are leaving now because we've still got half the field to come. Still plenty more top line drivers coming through.
Dave Strong should be the next one we see, our open two-wheel drive class leader.
And Strongy's no fool. He'll come through here like a flipping cut cat. Zooming back to tank corner. Just great shots. Like I said, if you've got any feedback for our live stream or positive comments, we would love it. Please put a like down there. Please share this away with all your friends and family and everyone you've ever met. Dave coming through Joe's. Dave's smart. He knows Joe's is a hard corner.
It almost looks slow in comparison, but
yeah,
this is not slow.
To be fair, we've just seen a WRC star in a WRC car.
Yeah. Poor Dave. He's got
a hard act to follow. That's a hard act to follow. It's like when you're watching the Formula 1 and then the V8 supercars come on. It's like that. They're awesome normally, but after a Formula 1 car, they're like, oh, yeah, okay, they're pretty slow. Well done, Strongy. He's had a great weekend too, and he's looked so much more confident in that car. I know him and Rob Scott have done a lot of events together now, and they're just starting to gel, in my opinion, and it's good to see a confident Dave, because he can really pedal that car, and it sounds cool.
So I think we should see Ray Wilson next.
Oh, Ray had a up and down day yesterday, but it was good to see him going again. And yeah, great. I'm hoping that he'll get to the finish. He's not too far off it.
There he is.
Gone through Joe's corner perfectly. Coming up to the crest, a little bit of dust hanging again. And he's nicely through the Brian Green crest. Nice and flat out. Even though it looks slow, he knows they're still doing about 140 to 150 k's over that crest. It's actually amazing how much speed you can carry. And
so I think it's Chris Ramsey would be the next car due. Just waiting for a time for the WRC car. I'm told it's got to the finish line, so any tick of the clock. Fantastic to see he's got there. I know we're all a teeny bit nervous. We didn't want to see that car get wrecked, but it's Hayden Paddon. He's never going to put that car too wide and bumper panel. So, car number 207's just entered the stage. Here's Rambo. That is. Here's Rambo. Great to see him going, because we didn't see him yesterday. Coming up to Joe's corner. He knows it pretty well, and sorry he's over the just had to not talk. That was beautiful. Nicely over the Brian Green crest. Now maybe we could see a little replay of him through Joe's. I didn't actually see it. Camera one. Perfect.
Here he comes. Oh, nicely through. Oh, that's as wide as you want to go as well.
Rambo, no lack of commitment
I missed that. I'm sorry I missed that, but geez, we got it on the replay. That was amazing. Good boy, Rambo. Another one that doesn't like to waste a crowd, Chris Ramsey. And next competitor's coming down the little valley.
Thomas Paul, I think, in the Honda Civic.
Yes,
he was on the podium yesterday for our Rally Challenge two-wheel drive.
Yes, good little competitor. He should be spectacular through here too. Nice, I tell you what, he's nice and tidy. He's, that's how you want to drive. It's a front-wheel drive car, isn't it? So that's how you want to drive a front-wheel drive. Not too much tail.
Won his class yesterday. It's a great start to the championship for him.
Yeah, got to spray some champagne.
Fended off Ian Warren, who we'll see next in the Nissan Pulsar.
And then Charlie, wasn't it?
Yeah, Charlie finished third. Yep,
Charlie left his Civic at home. He should have bought it.
So just waiting on a time for the WRC car.
We will bring that to you as soon as we have it. Any more bids on it being under 6?
Under 7? Under 6s, you reckon?
Yeah.
So here's Ian
I think
Warren.
it's under 7. Gee, that dust clinging again. Coming through Joe's corner. It is hard to see. Hard to see the monitor. Oh, nice and tidy through there. And he's coming up on the Brian Green crest. Nice line. He's got a little bit of air. Must be a nice lightweight car. Into the MRS sweeper and he's off. Like I say, we're about 8Ks into the stage, so we've still got about 7Ks to go.
So I think we've got a car rejoining out of order now. 33C will be Steve Sims, our Australian mate.
Oh, that's
man
good.
Behind Rally Safe.
That's good that he got to rejoin. We don't know.
Still waiting on that time. There's a few of the spectators around us are wanting to know what the time was for Hayden in the WRC car. Bring it to you as soon as we have it.
We're still trying to find out. One moment, please, caller.
So it doesn't have a rally safe unit in the WRC car, which is why we're not getting the times as quickly as we have been for all the others.
Yeah, obviously it's such a special car. They didn't really want to drill extra holes in it to put a rally safe in it. So we're waiting for the official timing crew through Rally head office to send us a time from the beam. Normally we get the times from the Rally Safe, which is direct from a satellite via our app that we have.
There's Steve Sims.
Steve Sims, looking nice and tidy.
Speaking of Rally Safe.
Yeah, great. We need a glued-in version, Steve. And he's nice and safely through Joe's corner, which is fantastic. He's probably seen a few hazards pop up on his Rally Safe. And he's flat out over the Brian Green crest.
Good Steve.
Lovely BDA. Little blip as he pops it down a gear. Yeah, we've got another competitor here. I can't quite see him through the dust.
207.
Coming up. Oh, and he cut Joe's corner beautifully there. Oh. Go, Jason. That was a ripper. Gee, that dust is hanging. He's definitely catching the car in front. Oh. You just can't talk over them, can you? Just the lovely sound of a BDA. Absolutely stunning as you like.
So I think Paul Cross is next.
Hopefully we have a replay of that, him lifting that wheel. If we got a replay or not. Might have another competitor.
Back to 1 minute intervals, I think, now.
Gee, we've got some dust in the van. It's getting really hard to see. Oh, where it was, you just see him lift that wheel. Awesome replay. You see the dust hanging. Quite unmoving over that crest. It's scary enough without having dust, you know. It just takes away your vision for a split second. And a split second in a rally car, you've travelled a long way. It's our next competitor now.
Paul Cross, I believe.
Paul Cross.
Southerner. Nice cut again from Paul.
Yeah,
seeing him in
as close as you
car
want.
This time round. The AE86.
Brian Green crest. Beautifully done. Flat over the Brian Green crest and into the MRF sweeper. And he's off. 7 more Ks and they'll be home sweet home. It's sort of bittersweet, like I say, the end of the stage. You're kind of happy to be at the finish of it, but you really do want to turn right because we turn left and do it again, and you're like, I don't care if I get excluded from the event. That was so much fun. And even if you're having a crap rally and you
Hayden got to do it twice.
He did. I'd like to pay to do that myself. Who have we got
Right,
here?
I
It's the
think
BMW,
this is
isn't it?
Richard Galley, isn't it? Claire Bacchini from Australia. It is, in the Beamer.
Yeah, and the BMW. Ripper of a sound, this one. Nicely through Joe's, and here he comes up on the Brian Green crest. Oh, flat out. A little hard on the brakes there. Like I say, that's got plenty of camber, the sweeper.
All right, James McIver should be next in the Mark II Escort. Paddy Wright, seen him compete over the years. Pretty handy peddler himself. Sitting alongside in the co-driver's seat.
Beautiful drone shots. Just shows, the up and down, the roller coaster nature of this road. Here he is coming up on Joe's. Turns in, dips in, looked early. Ooh, nicely done. Straightened up actually mid apex. Coming up to the Brian Green jump. Nicely over the Brian Green crest. Just a little blip of the accelerator and he's off.
So we get a former national champ next.
Who would that be?
You tell me. Driving an AE86.
Oh, Dean Sumner.
Dean
Sumner. We haven't seen much of Dean today, but I missed him in the service park. But well done, Dean. Bit of a late entrant, I think, but he's been enjoying himself.
Daff O'Rourke sitting alongside.
Yeah, Daff, of course, Christchurch real estate agent, works for a rival company, but we still love her. Not quite as good a company as mine. I won't mention the brand.
He's good, this guy. He is good.
Not bad, mate. I've got to make a living. I don't get a lot from this live stream.
No, it doesn't pay very well,
Doesn't
does it?
pay anything. Here he comes. Joe's corner, of course, he knows that pretty well. Dean Sumner's won this stage a few times. I remember talking to Dean at the end of it once or twice, and he's like, man, I was shaking at the end. Flat out over the crest. For those that don't know this stage, if you get a chance to go on YouTube and Google like Hayden Paddon's Curry Bush, of course there's going to be another one coming up soon, but right at the beginning there's this huge crest and it's really narrow, and there's a drop on the right hand side, and I tell you what, just watch the way Hayden drives through there, and a lot of the drivers like Ben have got footage from it too, but it just shows you how scary the start to this stage is, and it goes like that. There's just moments through the stage that as drivers we know, and we kind of have them mentally noted that pay respect, but you still go flat out through them, and so much fun. So definitely get on YouTube and watch that.
So it should be the little Suzuki of Chris Hogan next. Queenstown-based competitor.
And of course, while you're on YouTube, you can watch our replays, because our replays for the New Zealand Rally Championship are on YouTube as well.
Get on the NZRC YouTube page, subscribe, make sure you follow us.
Nicely. Oh, but wide through Josie's and the marbles out there, but not too bad. Thank goodness he didn't cut the beginning of that, because that's how the crashes happen. Turning too late. And flat out as you like over the Brian Green crest.
So working our way through the last part of the fields, the competitors will finish the stage, head off to Brighton Beach, thank you, for the official finish.
And they'll get to spray some champagne and then, of course, go home and rinse and repeat and do it all again in a couple of weeks in South Canterbury.
Yeah, about a month, isn't it?
Yeah,
Less
about
than
a month's time, so it's not too fast. The Rally Championship starts with a bang. We have a little bit of a break in the middle, and then we finish, obviously, with Coromandel and Whangarei at the end.
So Adrian Jones, another Queenstown-based competitor, he's due up in the Toyota Corolla.
We still haven't got a time through for the WRC cars, so apologies for that, but we are hunting as best we can. Just stunning drone shots. Like I say, the beach is not too far away from here. If you want to go surfing on the way home, spectators are thinning out, but still a lot of spectators. We would have seen a couple of hundred walk past us.
Oh, easy, yeah.
So I would think it was probably upwards of, 400 to 500 people on our corner, and then maybe about the same at Tank Corner, because of course there's another entry to Tank Corner. Just fantastic to see all the South Islanders coming out to watch, and of course I went up and helped set up the camera point on Joe's corner there, and there's so many Australians up there, I just couldn't believe it. I thought I was in flipping downtown Sydney.
It's Adrian Jones now, the Toyota Corolla.
Coming into Joe's, dips it in nice and early. Yeah, nice and tidy through there. That's kind of how you want to be. You want to be tidy through that. It's not one that you really want to impress the crowd on too much.
It's a slew of Queenstown-based drivers at the moment. Got another one coming in a moment.
And he's nicely through the brine green. And into the sweeper nicely. And he goes off to, like I say, down a big long straight. And then you've got a little shimmy. If you get wrong's not very good. But everyone's got it right today too. I wonder if our Malaysian man got going again. No, not Malaysian. Was he Filipino, sorry.
So it should be Alan Garrick, Hamish Garrick in the Toyota Truno next.
Great scenes here. Few people off the tank now.
And then we'll have the two-wheel drive Fiesta for Yohiko Takahashi.
Japanese competitor. And of course it's great, like I say, we have good international flair in our New Zealand Rally Championships. Of course we've had, over the years, we've had a lot of people come from abroad. Of course Ken Block probably being the most notable, came down and did the New Zealand Rally Championship twice with us. He was down here in, was it 2009? Something like that. I know I was doing the championship with Ken, and what a great man. Absolute great man. And then of course he bought his WRC car out here. He loved our stages that much, and he did this very stage, Kirribush, but I think we did it the other way. And of course Ken was like, I just love that stage. And then of course he came back and did it in his Cosworth. He came back and did a little bit of the championship too. So a fantastic guy, and we do miss him dearly from New Zealand Rally Championship. Our next competitors here,
that's Takahashi.
It is Takahashi. International.
Fuyuhiko Takahashi.
Carrying good speed down through the little valley there, and into Joe's. Yeah, very nice and cautious. I'm glad of that. You breathe a sigh of relief when people get through Joe's. Don't really want to see anyone crash there. And up on our Brian Green crest. We'll get a good shot of Brian Green's sponsorship there. Banner. Hard on the brakes. And through the MRF sweeper. And he's off up the hill towards the finish.
Right, next car through will be the Toyota DX Corolla, Marty Bertelsen, Marisa Bertelsen, and Carpety. Getting down to the last
couple. We still haven't got the WRC time, unfortunately. The Filipino man is still stopped by us. That's a shame. So he didn't get to do Kirribush. What a shame.
There's Marty Bertelsen.
Need to buy that guy a beer so he comes back. Come back and do it. Coming up on Joe's corner now.
We certainly won himself some friends with that
rollover.
That roll yesterday.
Beautifully through Joe's corner. And look at this, like I say, you can almost have any car to go rallying in. Nicely over the crest, nice and centre. Ooh, late break into the sweeper. Nicely, got away with it though.
So we saw Chili Fisher through an hour or so back. Now Adam Fisher, Toyota Altezza, should be our next competitor.
Yeah, someone coming through the dust. Can't make the car out.
It's an Altezza?
What that is? That was totally missed it. Sounded like a Corolla or something.
Might be.
This is the problem with rallying, like I say, is cars stop. And you know, you might think, well, they're not very professional, they don't know what car's coming, but they stop, they change punches, they have spins. Sometimes we even go the wrong way, believe it or not, because we are guided by our co-driver. So you don't often get that order in 100% order.
What do we got there?
That's an Altessa. That's an
the
Altessa. There you
I'm
go.
not sure who the previous competitor was,
No,
but
we're not sure who that one is, but we know who that one is. Coming over the Brian Green crest. Adam Fisher, well done into the sweeper. Late break. Last of the late breakers, and then he's back on it.
So big thanks again to our sponsors for bringing us the live stream. Brian Green Property Group, MRF Tyres, Omega Rental Cars and Cream Insurance. They'll be with us all season. Looking forward to doing this at every event. Here we go, next competitor. That's a Subaru, I think.
It looks like a Subaru. Coming up on Joe's.
It'll be Chris Fitzgerald, I think.
Yeah, nicely into Joe's corner. And he's back on the accelerator. Get up that hill. Straight over the crest. Keep left, remember. Yeah, nicely done. Big break. These fantastic drone shots of obviously the stage as it heads off up the hill. That's the Brian Green dipper that we can see right there. That's Joe's corner in the foreground. Oh, and we've got a car.
So down to our last 10 competitors now. This will be Dave Ollis, the Subaru.
Here he comes through, nicely and safely through Joe's corner. Well done. Nice looking car, this one. I had a look at it in the service park.
Just Daughter Jen Thompson, the co-driver's seat.
Nicely over the Brian Green crest. And into the sweeper nicely. Well done. Great camera positions by the Volt TV crew. You know, bringing these pictures to you live, like I say. New Zealand Rally Championship. We really wanted to focus on the live stream for you. Lots of comments that has gotten a whole lot more professional. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Don't forget the bottom left-hand button. Push that like. And right-hand button, push share if you want to share it. We would love to get, and put a comment down there. Ask some questions. We didn't get a lot of questions this one, but I haven't actually had time to run through them. So we can maybe answer those questions for you in our next live stream cross. Thanks so much to Cream Insurance, MRF Tyres, of course, the best tyres in Down Under. Brian Green Property Group, well, what can we say about Brian Green? He's the man. And Omega Rental Cars. I tell you what, we've had some fun in those rental cars.
Certainly have.
They've enjoyed the Otago crests.
It should be Jack Elliott.
Here he comes.
Blair Brosnan and the Toyota Echo.
Yeah, the Echo. Look at this little car. So you can do it in any car. Come on, well, man, he's steaming up on, absolutely steaming up on Joe's corner he was. And then take a breath as he goes over. Brian Green crest. Nicely done. Still carrying some really good corner speed. I tell you what, like I say, sometimes they look a little slow on the live stream, but if you were sitting in that passenger seat, trust me, you'd be holding on for dear life. Especially this stage. Even in a road car, you're scared with Blair driving. Not so much with Simon driving. I'm not so scared then.
So another of our Australian friends due to come through next, Robert Darrington. Toyota Yaris AP4, so
good car.
These guys had a fair bit of Targa experience, I think.
Yeah, they go. Beautiful car. Is this an Australian car or a New Zealand car?
That's a very good question. I don't
Must
know.
be Australian car, I feel. I don't remember
I think it's
seeing
Bella
it.
Haggerty sitting with him.
Oh, lovely. Good ride for Bella. Of course, her father, Sean, and she's done a lot of Ks. Definitely becoming a great little young co-driver. Bella. Nicely over the crest. I'm sure Bella's probably enjoying that ride in comfort over her dad's car with dust and sweat and swearing, I'm sure, coming from that driver's seat. That's
Scottish accent.
Great with a Scottish accent. It's like, I love it when they swear, the Scots. It's the funniest thing you'll ever see.
So Jamie Donaghy should be the next car we see in the Toyota Corolla FX.
Oh, I missed that. I was looking down to see if we had some results.
To be fair, I think I was looking at the wrong piece of road. It's so hard to see. I thought he was off the side of the road there, but the dust is just catching me out. I'm getting excited for no good reason.
Here we go through Joe's corner. Nicely done. Little Toyota Corolla. Gem of a car. Look at that. He's probably got the groceries in the boot. And he's off over the crest. Beautifully done through the brine green. I'll tell you what, he's pedaling. When you see them in the flesh as they come past us, he's pushing. Nicely through the MRF sweeper, and he's off. 7 more Ks.
6 more cars to traverse. Andy White's from Southland and the Mitsubishi Mirage due up now.
Nearly at the end, so hopefully not too much longer before we find a time for young Hayden. We're going to go to a replay for Hayden. I think that's a great idea.
Very shortly.
Shortly.
We'll get through these last few cars.
Yep, I think that's a great idea. Absolutely.
Here's Andy.
Here comes Andy. What's that car, Dale? It's another Corolla, is it? Mirage.
It's a Mirage.
It's a little Mirage.
Yeah.
Andy coming up on the Brian Green crest. Nicely over it. Straight past us and into the sweeper. Nicely done. On that gas early.
So next car up will be David Bond, the Australian, in the Ford Escort. And there are 5 cars to go.
I'm actually getting messages from people all around the world wanting to know what Hayden's time was. So yeah, we're still waiting, I'm telling people.
Shouldn't be too far away.
Yeah, shouldn't be too far away. So hang in there, live stream audience. We will, as soon as we know, I promise you will know.
Big weekend of motorsport for Kiwis around the world. Liam Lawson, of course, in action this afternoon.
Yeah, excited to see that. Beat Yuki in qualifying. Good boy. Little Escort coming up on Joe's. Yeah, nicely done. Not too wide.
Your mate SVG at NASCAR as well.
Yes, SVG and NASCAR. They didn't have such a great quali, but yeah, Shane was one that was asking me about Hayden's time. Again, wasn't it? Pretty sure of it. Beautiful. No doubt Blair would correct me and say, no, that's the 2-litre or something. He knows everything. But yeah, of course, Shane competing this weekend at NASCAR and had a little bit of bad luck over the last couple of rounds, but you watch, he's smart, he will learn, and
he can pedal anything, that boy.
Well, and Shane just says, you know, I'm just racing my teammates at this stage, and he's pretty close to his teammates, so you know, yeah, good on him. He's out there doing it in a foreign
We just
country.
don't understand how big NASCAR is, eh? I don't think we really get it in New Zealand.
No, we don't. It's a huge sport, and gee, that's a good angle of tank corner.
John Clifton, Ford Escort.
Almost our last competitor, is he?
We've got 3 to go, I think. 3 to go. I don't think we'll live stream Simon Bell driving through the stage to come pick us up.
We'll try not to. Nicely through Joe McAndrew's corner and Smoking Joe's corner, we call that one, of course. Coming up on the Brian Green crest. Nicely through. You see the navigator turning a page. That's a nice sounding car too. Ooh, late brake and dips it in. Probably missed the apex. We can't really tell with that dust, but sounded like he's taking a bit of time to get on the gas, actually. Did he have a spin?
Don't know. Didn't hear it.
Yeah, I don't know. Couldn't see it, and we haven't got the drone up, I'm sorry. But, yeah. And our next competitor.
Getting whispers that it might not have cracked the 7-second mark.
7-minute
mark,
really?
Excuse me, just over 7 minutes is what I'm hearing.
Okay,
unofficial,
but we haven't got the full time yet. I was thinking a second, okay, but it's very gravelly.
DX Corolla here of Colin Cole from Auckland, Nicky Sims.
Nicely over the Brian Green crest. And carrying some great speed in that car. Nice little late break and back on the gas. Off they go. So we still haven't got the official time, or we have?
We've got a time.
We've heard a time, but we don't know if it's official, so we'll maybe just wait a little bit.
We'll just hold fire,
yeah.
Until
We don't want to put you crook. Oh,
So-
we're getting so many different times
now we're
now.
getting a second hand from Hayden himself. Let's just say it was just a touch over 7 minutes, shall
A
we?
tad over 7. We believe it's over
7 minutes and change.
Yeah, 7 minutes and change.
Right, Murray Christopherson and Kieran Beach Price, Ford Fiesta ST150. Our second to last car on the stage. And that'll just about do us on the live stream for
Yeah, well, for a
Central
round.
Machine Hire Otago Rally for 2025.
That's almost sad. I mean, I'll be getting on a plane in a couple of hours. I can't do the prize giving. I've got to get home,
That's
back
right,
to
we'll-
work.
We'll go to the prize giving for you, mate.
Thank you, team. Yep, you represent.
Could use a shout just quietly. Give everyone else around here. Prefer that over shout
I
too.
wasn't going to say anything, but
It's very hot, sweaty, and dusty where we are.
it is. It's been quite tricky, actually, but we've loved bringing you these pictures, and like I say, hopefully you've absolutely enjoyed them. If you have, please drop a comment down there. A little like would be marvellous, and share away, and please, please, please join us in a couple of weeks' time, 4 weeks' time, when we do go to South Canterbury Rally, because we'd love to see you again.
Looking forward to that. So one car to go. Kevin Brocky to finish. Dunedin local here. Daryl McManus from Tauranga sitting alongside him. Toyota Vitz. And we'll sign off just after that. What a opening weekend it has been. Ben Hunt comes away with the rally win, but man, he got there by the skin of his teeth. Robbie Stokes, so close. There's some hard luck stories. Jack Stokes was so impressive over the weekend.
Yes.
Unfortunately, doesn't have much to show for it, but man,
Yes,
he
but
certainly laid the challenge down.
Ben Hunt in
we see
the-
Kevin approach us. Hard luck story for Emma Gilmore, Josh Marston. How good to see
Yeah.
him back in the championship again.
Jack making it back to the podium.
Yeah, Hawkswood fighting back and showing us what he's capable of. It sort of sets up the championship, doesn't it, for the rest of the year?
It does. It's all on. Like we've got, because you can count Emma really in that battle. So
Oh,
you've
Jack,
got
I think
four
both.
people.
I think it's five.
Plus,
Like
or,
Jack
yeah,
Hawkswood,
Jack,
Jack Stokes, and Emma.
Jack and Josh. You've almost got 6 because Josh was not far off as well. So anyone can win it. There's been a couple of mistakes, but those top boys didn't really make mistakes. So, if there had been a puncher here and there, it would have been all on for young and old. So, well done to our national champion, of course, winning that round in the Giltrap Skoda car. Really represented that Giltrap home. The Giltrap, of course, I love the Giltrap. So, great to see that stable up on top.
And big thanks to our sponsors one last time, Brian Green Property Group, MRF, the control tyre for the 2025 Championship, Amiga Rental Cars, Cream Insurance. Thanks to the Vault TV crew. That's us done and dusted for the Otago Rally. We'll see you again in a month's time. Check out all the recap. There'll be plenty up there in the coming hours on the social media pages. But until then, we'll see you in South Canterbury in a month's time.
And thank you so much for joining us. And we've just had it confirmed. It was a 7:03 that Hayden did. 7:03 and a little bit of change. So congratulations, Hayden. Thanks so much for bringing that car down. All those organisers. Thanks. Oh, we've got the replays of Hayden. Here he comes. Look at him tip it in. The directness of that WRC car just blows me away. I would love it. He's through Joe's. Beautifully through Joe's. Look how wide he was through Joe's. So he was pushing. There was a lot of gravel on the road, so that's why I couldn't crack that 7. And then flat out over Brian Green's crest. And look at this. I don't even think he braked. I've never seen anyone take that corner flat, but I'm sure he didn't brake.
Yeah, it's be pretty special.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Hyundai New Zealand and Hayden, of course, and whoever else was behind that. Thank you so much.
We'll see you again in a month's time.
See you in a
Take
month's
care.
time.